And good evening, welcome to a brand new series, Persona 4 Arena, one of the spin-offs from the legendary Persona series. This is a very different kind of stream for me, because it's going to be a stream where it involves tournament fighters. I played these games many years ago. I was rubbish then, and I'm rubbish now. So I'm not expecting things to be any better. For those of you who don't know, this game's set after the original Persona 4, so it's... Oh, fuck off! I just got the easiest achievement in the world! I pushed the fucking start button! I hate that! It's not an achievement! What have I done? What have I done? How have I achieved anything by turning the game on? Seriously! Well, anyway, good evening to those of you who've never seen this channel before. It's all about blind live reactions, playing games, plenty of bad jokes, lots of live banter in the chat box that way. So please get your comments in there. We'll do what we can to get interactions with you all. For those of you who've been here before, perhaps you watched all the previous Persona streams like Persona 5 Royal, Persona 3 FES, Persona 2 Innocent Sin. Maybe you were here for all the Dog and Ramper, you were here for the unusual ones like Doki Doki Literature Club, Song of Memories, or even, way back in the day, for Final Fantasy 7 and Forza 4. Either way, a huge welcome back to those of you, because without you, this channel will be active, but it won't be as interactive or reactive. So needless to say, we're going to have some fun, and well, I guess we better get started. But I actually like the title screen with like the almost anime kind of characters they got for them. Almost cel-shaded 2D anime. It's really rather cool. And now we got the loading screens because, yes...
Welcome to the Velvet Room. This place exists between dream and reality, mind and matter. Now then, why don't you introduce yourself?
Okay, I wasn't expecting to hear Igor here, but that's kind of cool. So it looks like we've got four characters. We've got the legendary Chard himself, Narukami. We've got Yosuke, we've got Chie, and we've also got Yukiko. It looks like all the others are...
The persona you have acquired. It is a side of you that shows itself when you face the world around you. Perhaps you can think of it as a facade of determination you wear to face various difficulties in life.
Okay, there's a lot more voiceover in this than I expected. I kind of like that. Well, you got to play with the MC first of all, haven't we? We've got to beat the Chad. And no, I've not got the jacket out today because it's way too warm. Let's go.
I wish you good luck.
I'm intrigued by how this is going to go. Oh, this feels very familiar. Blue. The floor, the ceiling, the furnishings, everything is blue. It's quite unlike what I normally see throughout my day. Unless you work in a blue house in a blue Corvette. No, don't you dare sing that song in the audience. Don't you dare. And yet, my heart is mysteriously calm. I recognize a slight rumbling as an engine and realize that I'm in a car. Or rather, someplace else I recognize.
Welcome to the Velvet Room.
The old man with the bizarre face sitting before me makes an expression that appears to be a smile. Sitting quietly next to the old man is a woman as beautiful and delicate as an ice sculpture.
It seems we have a guest with an intriguing destiny. My name is Igor. I am delighted to make your acquaintance.
Yes, Igor, how many times is he going to hassle 16-year-olds and lead them on to mass adventures? Sadly not for very much longer, unfortunately, because the voice actor in Japan actually passed away, so who knows if we're going to have a new Velvet Room attendant in future Persona games. The Velvet Room. Igor. Even though I'm barely conscious, I remember that this is not the first time I've heard those names. Meanwhile, Avian jumping in saying, Igor! Yes, indeed. I wasn't expecting to see Igor in the game either. That's a surprise to me. A spin-off where Igor makes an appearance. I see. This is a dream. This happened in the past. I've been in this room before. If my memory is correct, what he says next is...
This place exists between dream and reality, mind and matter. It is a room that only those who are bound by a contract may enter.
How many times have we heard that phrase? Answer far too many times when I was saying it during the Persona 3 stream. I apologise for nothing. They say the Velvet Bar, well, doesn't do a good cup of coffee, so the Velvet Bar's kind of useless to me.
It may be that such a fate awaits you in the near future.
The words I expect to hear fall from the old man's mouth. I'm surprised they still remember them. And never me. The one not in the dream. Can't help but smile at that.
Now then, why don't you introduce yourself?
I remember this, too. When it said my name here, it forged a contract with them. And so I answer. You Narukami. Yet for once we don't get to name the Chad. For once we have a canon name, people. So all you people in the chat who have read the manga and gone, it's Soji Sato. You are wrong. P1 Grand Prix. When I open my eyes, the light is so blinding I have to squint. For a moment, I can't figure out where I am, and I look around.
Right. I was on my way back.
Oh, now he's talking himself. This is going to get confusing. I mutter myself and look out the window. The sky is somewhat cloudy, unfortunately, but the scenery is as peaceful as always. It seems that I fell asleep on the train headed to the countryside, where I spent the last year, in Inaba. Now, for those of you who've played Persona 4 or Persona 4 Golden, this feels very, very familiar, doesn't it? Falling asleep on a train, having some random dream of the other world. Yeah, so I apologise right now if you've not played through Persona 4 or Persona 4 Golden, or watched any of the Let's Plays you can find, like on Queen3210's channel. You're going to be spoiled very badly by this game, I think, because I get the feeling we're going to be going over how that game ended. It is set after all, much like with the Persona 5 Strikers. So this is your final chance to check out that way if you don't want to be spoiled. If I recall correctly, when I first came to that town, it was an afternoon just like this. I dozed off in the same way back then, and was summoned to the Velvet Room. And yep, that is a still from the original Persona 4. I think that one might actually be taken from the anime rather from the game. I'm not entirely certain. That was when Igor said that misfortunes were before me. And just as he foretold, I was dragged into an outrageous murder mystery. That was no ordinary case. Meanwhile, Alistair Judd jumping in saying, hi, Swish, and yay, we're back with Persona once again, indeed. Yes, we are. We are doing a spin-off to Persona 4, Persona 4 Arena, set after the Persona 4 game. So if you're not entirely familiar with the plot of that, you'll either be confused or heavily spoiled, or both. I warn you all now. The Midnight Channel, Shadows, and Personas, the powers of the heart. I saw things that could scarcely be believed. But I made memories that could never be replaced as well. Like when he cheated on all the girls and had to tell them all in person he wasn't going to spend the day with them. Yes, that's what happens in the harem route in Persona 4. You get to feel like an asshole if you do the harem route in Persona 4. You don't get helped out by your friends like in P3, and you don't get what happens in P4. Oh, no, 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 no. You shoulder all the responsibility. And I love it. We gained powers of personas, and we suffered together. I stood with my friends on the investigation team against these misfortunes, and fought alongside them. There's no way I could have overcome such ordeals without their help.
What everyone's been up to.
I'm not sure my voice matches, but I'm doing the best I can, people, so I do apologise in advance for the bad acting. After solving the mystery, it was decided I would leave Inaba around the same time my parents would be returning from overseas. It's been about 2 months since I last saw them all, as they were saying goodbye to me at the train station. I had decided to stay at the Dojima residence during Golden Week, so I could spend a holiday with my friends. Of course, my uncle was happy to hear this, and his only daughter, Nanako, should be glad to see me too. Ah, yes, sweet, sweet Nanako. Nobody messes with Nanako. It is an instant death sentence. They say you always love the amusing dialogue in the Persona games, Aristotle. They are bonkers, aren't they? But I don't think anything's going to top Persona 2. That was the ultimate shitpost in terms of dialogue and plot.
Oh, damn it. I still haven't picked up Yosuke's gift.
It was supposed to be something special after all. Actually, I'd received a call from Teddy, one of my investigation team friends, this morning. The details of the conversation are a bit confusing. Okay.
Hello? Is this Sensei?
Ah. How I haven't missed that annoying voice.
Yeah, what's up?
They've actually kept the original Persona 4 insert. He actually has the same look.
I'm really sorry to bring this up, but I forgot to tell you something very important.
And that is why, people, prepare yourselves for the bearable punishments that are the puns coming your way.
I have a special request for the souvenirs I'm sure you'll be bringing your bear's friend.
I warned you all, it's only going to get worse. Teddy, I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to tell people what you wanted to bring you as souvenirs. I already have souvenirs for everyone, but oh well. Now, Avian, it's interesting you ask about did we go Danganronpa. Kadaka has actually said that Persona was a huge influence on Danganronpa. He says that Persona was one of the biggest influences of all time. Case in point, when we played Persona 2 Eternal Punishment, the Velvet Room theme was none other than the piano music that Kaede plays in Danganronpa V3, Clair de Lune. That's not a coincidence. Stop it, Harrison Jack. One person doing those puns is bad enough. Or I'll turn grizzly on your eye, hide. Yeah, I can do that as well. I've got all night. Sure enough, Teddy was only asking for some snacks and not son in Inaba, so it wasn't much trouble. Ah, but there was one problem.
Oh, and one more thing. Can I ask you to pick up something for Yosuke too?
I was planning on bringing something for everyone anyway, but go ahead.
Cool! Well, Yosuke's been down in the dumps after his mommy burned his favorite nurse.
Wait, what? His mom burned his favourite nurse? What kind of hell have we just stumbled into?
She was what I called scorching hot. Just kidding.
Right, speaking of the heat, I'm going to very quickly turn my heater off and try and cool down. Back in a second.
A nurse?
Yes, Avian, very true. If it was me, Khan, I'm more than happy with that. Yes, you're quite correct. If it was me, Khan, that's fine. I'll get the gasoline. I'll get the matches. I'll get the lighters. I'll get the swing sparks. I'll get the barbecue. I'm happy to get involved on this.
Ah, come on, Sensei. You know what I'm talking about.
Arista Jack, it's funny actually, if you run a search on Google Images for Monokuma Teddy, I believe there's an image somewhere where someone's actually got the teddy head pulled off and Monokuma's head's underneath it. There's some kind of toy. I want one. It looks amazing.
His nurse magazine with the chest examinations and the bear behind.
Ah, so she burned his palm. Well, that makes a little more sense now. I thought we'd got into some kind of weird Persona snuff film all of a sudden.
I see.
You managed to keep it a lot cooler than I did. I was right off the handle. You was like being the total Chad and keeping it cool.
And you expect me to buy him a replacement?
He can, 'cause he's the king.
Of course, silly. People coming to visit are supposed to bring presents.
In all my years of hanging around people, Teddy, we didn't buy each other porn.
Alright.
Unless you're the Chad, of course. If you're the Chad, you make your own rules.
Oh, I was planning to head back tomorrow, but since we're meeting up early, I decided to go back today. Can you pass that on to everyone?
Aha! Then the sexy nurses will be arriving even sooner. It'll be like, Sensei, we have an emergency patient. Yusuke will be so happy.
And Chie will be ready to kick his ass into orbit. And I'll be gushing, because Chie is best go.
Okay then, we'll be waiting for you.
I'm a little worried now. I hope he isn't telling everybody something that would give them the wrong idea. Well, I should just call again once I get there. But I'll ignore that for now.
Nurses, huh?
In the end, I wasn't able to pick one up for him. Yeah, I bet you weren't able. More like, you walked right past it and ignored it, and I don't blame you. How can I put it? I feel bad for Yosuke if I gave him that magazine, and every time he opened it, his friend's face kept popping up in his head. Oh my god! Oh, Atlas, you legend! That's actually referencing a scrapped social link. Because in the original Persona 4, they were actually going to make it canon for Yosuke to confess his feelings for Narukami. That is true. That is actually true. And I have to think that Yosuke has his pride, too. He doesn't need me buying him stuff. Then again, this is Yosuke we're talking about. I'm sure he'll understand if I explain my reasoning. Probably.
Now pulling into Yaso Inaba. This will be the last stop. Yaso Inaba.
Oh.
Let's say, Aristojock, if you love this game and you want to check out, on Steam you can play Persona 4 Golden, the original game. It's only like £15. And it's a really long game in the same way Persona 3 was. So if you're ever interested in checking it out and actually experiencing the whole story, go and check it out on Steam. It's brilliant. End of the line already. It looks like I've been asleep for a lot longer than I thought. Just that thought came to me, a certain worry crossed me in my mind. If I had a dream of the Velvet Room, did that mean I was going to be dragged into another adventure? No. I shouldn't think such things. I'm overthinking it. Igor had said, I am delighted to make your acquaintance. After all, so it's nothing but a dream. It's quite misleading, since I've had dreams of being summoned into that room ever since. The train begins to slow, and I take that as my cue to gather my belongings from the luggage rack above me. When the train comes to a complete stop and the doors open, even the smell of the wind evokes a sense of nostalgia. I think I'm getting a little too sentimental. I step out to the platform with a wry smile. Place bookmark. We really are playing Persona 4 the visual novel here, people. I'm sure this is meant to be a tournament fighter. Ah, so that's the save, okay. Oh, look at the date, people! According to my console, it's the 22nd of November 2005. We've gone back in time 17 years, people! I'm standing in front of the train station, but this town's as quiet as it's always been. I realize that the sun has started to set, and the orange sky envelops the world.
Now, what should I do?
It's a good point, actually. I'd read the Persona novel. I've read some of the manga. You can get the manga for Persona 3, 4, and 5. They're quite easy to find in places like Travelling Man, Forbidden Planet, and even in Waterstones. But the ones for Persona 1 and 2, very expensive imports. Today is May 2nd. According to the calendar, the latter half of the holidays will begin tomorrow. I told Dojima-san that I was going to arrive today, but it seems to be too busy with work to come get me. So you had the same situation, did you, Marisol Jack, where basically it said the original date. It's mainly because I'm not getting it hooked up to the internet. That's the reason. It's a console I've not used properly for more than 7 years, apart from when I was doing Dante's stream. I don't need to have it hooked into the internet. All the games I'd play servers for on Xbox 360 will one be shut down anyway. Ryotaro Dojima. He's my uncle. I stayed with him last year. He's a detective with the Inaba police, and he's raising his elementary school-aged daughter Nanako by himself. It seems that he was suddenly contacted by a detective from the Metropolitan Police Department regarding last year's case and will have to work late. What happened last year was very serious, so that may be why this has come up. He shouldn't have worried about it. I recall how apologetic he sounded over the phone, and can't help for smiling. I told him that I knew the way over from the station, but the backpack with necessities and souvenirs for everyone turns out to be quite a load. Nanako must be waiting for me alone at the house, so I want to get there as soon as possible too. To be honest, I don't know when the bus will come. Maybe I should just call for a taxi. Just as I'm thinking this...
Huh? Nanako?
Big bro!
Hey, Nanako! It is Nanako! There's no way I'd mistake her.
You came to meet me all on your own?
Why did she come to the station all by herself? True, the Dojima residence was within walking distance, but it couldn't have been easy for her. And even though it's still light out right now, it will get dark soon, and the country roads are barely lit. What would she have done if I hadn't been here? I'm about to voice my concerns, but Nanako sounds slightly proud when she says,
Don't worry, Dad knows about it. He gave me money for the bus. He said he couldn't make it, so I came instead. Welcome back, big bro. I wanted to see you so much.
Yeah, there's the face of a character that will steal your heart. I know of absolutely nobody who wouldn't move heaven and earth to protect Nanako. In terms of child characters in gaming, she's probably the most popular. I don't know of anyone who's got a bad word to say about her.
Thanks. I'm happy to see you again, too.
I see. She must have wanted to show me that she's a grown-up too. She is around that age, after all. For a moment, I'm surprised that Dojima-san let her do this. But I can kind of imagine what kind of conversation took place. Nanako had always been a capable girl, but over the past year, her housekeeping skills have improved greatly, and she's proven herself to be very reliable. She takes the lead in many things within the house, and even Dojima-san can't compete with her sometimes. I can easily imagine that scene in my mind. And it's true that I'm glad someone came to welcome me. I take Nanako's hand and we begin walking side by side. Oh no. Don't animate that. That will cuteness overload.
Well, no sense standing around here. What's in the fridge at home?
Oh, it's your favourite Narukami. Curdled milk that's going to make you go to bed early. And yes, that happened to me far too many times on my playthrough in Persona 4 Golden. You committed a grave mistake. It was freezing cold udon soup. Still, it's better than cough up. Isn't it, Avian?
Lots. Dad and I bought a ton of stuff since you were coming to visit.
If Nanako says so, then he must have really bought a lot. Dojima-san did say he'd pick up dinner for us. But if that's the case, maybe I should put together something to go with it. I asked Nanako what she wants to eat, and she looks back with a twinkle in her eyes.
Are you gonna cook dinner? Ooh, I wanna help.
Nanako and I make small talk while we walk through Inaba for the first time in a little while. Being here like this makes me feel as if I've gone back in time to a year ago, or 17 years ago if you're my Xbox. You say you'd rather have the cold soup because you might not gag. Yes! Me too, Avian. I would rather drink out regurgitated pig swill than cough up. It was that bad. After we get back to the Dojima home, I hurry and unpack my belongings before heading to the kitchen. Nanako helps me out as diligently as she had claimed earlier. The way she mixes the eggs seems more skillful than before. I really don't want to read this line, but I know full well Narukami doesn't think that way, so I'm going to read it. You're such a good girl, Nanako.
Good evening. This is the Evening Journal with news for May 2nd. Our top story is on the domestic airline that was hijacked yesterday.
Okay, Persona, that's a segue in tone. The TV in the living room echoes through the house. The TV was on quite often in this house. When I first came to Inaba, Nanako was practically being raised by the television. There had been this odd sense of distance between us around that time. She hadn't started calling me Big Bro, and we didn't cut together like we are now. It's the little things that bring back memories. Right when we were about done making dinner, Dojima-san arrived with some deluxe sushi. Nanako quickly gets up and rushes to the door. She seems so happy when Dojima-san comes home. Oh, that's a nice still shot, isn't it? That's a nice anime scene. Is there any, in fact... There we go, you can actually get a proper look at it. That's a really nice visual. I really like that. Dojima-san apologized about the sudden increase in his workload, and then we all sit at the table and begin eating. Being here like this makes me feel like the 2 months I was gone never happened at all. There's a warm atmosphere, as if I've always been a part of this family, and I've lived here with them my entire life. I thank both of them from deep in my heart, and after I give them the souvenirs I bought for them, we enjoy chatting with each other as a family. Oh, nice one, Oyster Jack. Yeah, you might find one at Comic-Con, and if you do, grab one if you can, and just take a look at it. It's really cool. And yes, Avian, I want sushi now. So tomorrow when I'm in Leeds, I might go to Wasabi and get some deluxe vegan sushi. As that sushi, it depends on the type really, because if you get it's most of it's fish, but you also got the ones that are made with like norimaki. It's just like kind of like salad stuff really, with like really nice cool rice. Really lovely taste. Another familiar room. This room was prepared for me on the second floor of the Dojima residence, and if we actually take a look at the background, you can actually see some of the things that were from the original game. On the wall, I don't know if you can see this, but there's a brilliant atmosphere. There's a brilliant Easter egg, because the calendar is for the game series Catherine, which is another Atlas property. You've also got Jack Frost statue on the shelf, along with a Gundam as well. These were items you could pick up in the original game, except for the calendar. In Persona 4 Golden, the calendar was a Persona 3 calendar. Nanako fell asleep from all the excitement. After carrying her to her room, I tell my uncle that I'd be going to bed early as well, since I have plans. All he said was, okay. I'm a little perplexed by this, but I had my suspicions, and as I opened my door to my old room, it seems I was right. The room is no different than it had been when I was living here. It's exactly the same as it was when I left Inaba. I closed the door with a feeling of wistfulness. Wistfulness. There's a word for you, people. As I sit down on my sofa, thinking about my uncle's thoughtfulness, I sigh from the exhaustion of the long journey. I'll be able to see my friends tomorrow. Considering that there are still several days left in this holiday, it may be nice to leave early tomorrow and go visit the shopping district.
It's raining.
And that means the fog is coming. The time is just before midnight. In mere moments, it will be a new day. Whenever it rains at night, I keep checking the time. While I spent the last year in Inaba, I was always checking for the midnight channel, which is a popular urban legend here in Inaba. It's a bad habit of mine, even when I'm not here. If you look at a turned off TV at midnight on a rainy night, you'll see your soulmate! Discovering this rumor was actually true was the first reason why I became involved in the murder investigation last year. But the person who actually appears on the midnight channel isn't your soulmate. Oh, Aristojock, bruh. Seriously? I can see you, and he can see you too. Now be quiet. Well, not really. It's the next victim. After discovering this, we all nervously sat before our TVs on rainy nights in order to solve the case.
That brings back some memories. Nothing will show anymore, though.
Nothing to show anymore, though, apparently. Will nothing really appear, though? I still only have doubts. Why would I think that? After we solved that case, we all confirmed that the Midnight Channel wasn't appearing anymore. The empty screen stays silent. So why...
Just in case.
It's not going to turn on. There's no way. The more I think about it, the more I feel my resolve fading. I peer into the TV screen, as if something is drawing me into it. The only thing I see is my reflection in the dark glass of the CRT television. Yes, there it is, people. 4-3 cathode ray tube. It's still there. Oh, that's a shame, Avian. You say one of your favourite restaurants closed down in the pandemic and you therefore miss sushi. Yeah, that's not cool. It's really nasty when things like that disappear. Or so I thought.
Rivals. They are friends, yet powerful foes.
Wait, what?
A desperate fighting program amongst high school students. A new legend is about to start.
What the fuck?
Be the manliest of all men! Come on down!
What?
Nobody touches his precious Nanako, the sister complex kingpin of
It's only natural.
wage slave in the boonies by day, hero by night. Captain Resentiment, Yosuke Hanamura!
Everything that bores me is gotta go!
A spunky dragon with deadly legs! The carnivore whose discarded womanhood, Please escort me to the ring, my prince! The unconquerable snow black, Yukiko Amagi!
Finish you in one strike!
Blooming roses and bulging muzzles, the blood-virgin beefcake emperor, Kanji Tatsumi! The realms of romance, the body of a child, the brain of a genius, the 2000 IQ killjoy detective, Naoto Shirogane!
Is this an army of idiots?
Fight and survive towards the one throne waiting at the end! The P1 Grand Prix where fierce fights will be fought! The battle begins tonight!
I didn't expect that. What the fuck just happened? Wow. Yeah, that reaction. That reaction there. That says it all. Yes, what's going on? You tell me, Alistair Jack. I don't fucking know.
What? Sister complex kingpin of steel?
To be fair, that's actually accurate though. The sister complex kingpin of steel. Because you say, anyone who dares touch Nanako. Was that me? No. You're not me! And now we have a shadow fight in the bedroom. Sister complex kingpin of steel. I'm impressed. There's so much wrong with that phrase, I don't know where to begin. No, I shouldn't be thinking about that. Those words aren't the problem here. I heard to make sure that the TV isn't plugged in. That was the Midnight Channel. What it was actually showing was rather ridiculous. But thinking back, everything the Midnight Channel showed last year didn't make much sense either. Like, I won't say too much, but the Midnight Channel and what appears on it is a huge thing in Persona 4 and Persona 4 Golden, so hopefully this game's not really going to spoil it. It'd be nice if it doesn't, and I'm going to try and be good and not say it either. I'm suddenly gripped by tension. If the Midnight Channel is appearing again, I have to find out why. I pull out my cell phone and search for Yosuke's number.
Let's see, Hanamura Yosuke.
Yeah, I suppose you're right, Avian. The words are kind of the problem, to be fair. I quickly hit the call button. Does everyone know about this? Is everyone aware that the Midnight Channel is still being broadcasted? Do they know that it's showing us? And they would be given taglines that can only be described as uncharitable. I think that's actually a far too charitable way of put it to say they're uncharitable.
Hello, this is Yosuke.
Yosuke?
It's nothing. I just freaked out when you called all of a sudden. Yeah, that's it. What's up? Hey, when do you want to meet?
I can tell what's going on just by the sound of his voice. Yosuke knows about what's happened on the Midnight Channel just now, and he's trying to hide that from me. Considering I've been out of Inaba for a while, I bet he's trying to keep me from worrying about it. There's no need for him to be concerned about that. Then again, I can kind of understand how he feels. I am his friend, after all. You say you'd watch the Midnight Channel on TV, Mr. Jack. Say, play Persona 4 or Persona 4 Golden, and then you might change your mind. That's all I have to say.
That's not why I was calling. I saw the Midnight Channel. You saw it too, right?
Uh-huh.
I can easily hear Yosuke panicking on the other side of the phone. He's probably surprised that I saw the Midnight Channel, when I shouldn't even be in Inaba right now. He must be thinking that the Midnight Channel is now appearing on national TV network. Looks like Teddy didn't tell them after all.
Did Teddy not tell you? Since we're meeting up early tomorrow, I decided to come today. I figured you wouldn't think I could have seen it, so I gave you a call.
Well, I assumed you weren't here yet, so I didn't want to rely on you.
You haven't changed. So how about it? You're not gonna leave this be, are you, Captain Resentiment?
Why'd you zero in on that part? Did you see how they called you a sister complex kingpin?
Mine's not that bad.
Yes, Narukami. Yes, it is. It so is.
You think?
Yosuke being the voice of reason? What kind of fucking parallel reality is this?
Oh, I ought to tell you, that program's not the only strange thing lately. Teddy, Rise, and Kanji aren't here either. They disappeared.
Ah! For a moment, I'm at a loss for words. Not only has the Midnight Channel come back on, we've lost contact with 3 of our friends. I have a bad feeling about this. I can't believe that those 2 things are related. Yeah, especially since you spoke to Teddy on the phone. And now apparently he's gone missing. So Arista Jack, ding 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 for you saying no, don't trust Teddy. I now have a theory. You wasn't talking to Teddy. He was talking to somebody else.
Alright, we should get together tomorrow like we planned.
Yeah, at the Jeunesse food court.
Ah, the Jeunesse food court. That's a very famous location for Persona 4.
Welcome back, partner.
I'm suddenly reminded I haven't even greeted Yosuke yet. I finally feel the sense of worry fade a little, and I answer with a smile.
It's good to be here.
No matter what has happened, our friends may be in danger. If that's so, then there's only one thing to do. Speaking of things I have to do.
Oh, right. Sorry to say, I forgot to pick up your souvenir.
A souvenir? Don't even worry about it, man.
You sure? I thought you were really looking forward to it. Those nurses.
Nurses?
I had a feeling he wouldn't get it if I don't tell him flat out. This is rather hard to bring up. But, oh well.
Yeah, Teddy asked me to get it for you. He said you were crushed that they got burned.
Oh, wait, this is all...
I didn't know you were into nurses.
I've got to be good here because there's actually a potential spoiler for Persona 4.
Shut up! That's enough! Damn it, you're trying to wind me up, aren't you? Stay home, you jerk.
Oh!
I'm already here. Well, I'll see you tomorrow.
At least it seems like he understands about his souvenir. In any case, the preparations have been made. Tomorrow, I'll meet with everyone and sort through whatever information we have on this situation. If we have to, we'll go back into that world. It'd be best if this was just our imaginations. But, unfortunately, we know that the Midnight Channel wouldn't have appeared without a reason. I should make sure I'm ready for tomorrow and get some rest. I thought there might be an option to save, but there is not. Let's carry on. This place is lively as always. I look across the food court on Junes' roof for the first time in a while. And yep, that's their idea of a lively food court. Why does it remind me of a really run-down British pier? There's something about it that gives me disused Skegness kind of vibes. Even though there aren't many people in Inaba, this place is exceptionally crowded. No, it's not. There's no one fucking there. Exceptionally crowded, my ass. Look at all those empty seats. Plus, because it's Golden Week as well, I feel like it's busier than usual. It's fucking not busy. There's no one there. It is empty. It's a ghost town. Even Silent Hill is crowded compared to this. I happen to run into Yosuke at the elevators. We briefly greet each other. Guys are weird like that. The closer we are, the more simple our interactions when we meet each other, face to face. The two of us step out to the food court. We immediately find Yukiko and Chie. They wave back at us from the bench they're sitting on.
Good to see you guys again.
Welcome back! We missed you!
Yep. And that's Chie wearing the Drake Bell costume. That's a famous Persona meme that basically she's based off Drake Bell from Drake and Josh. I don't know if that's true, but it's crazy enough to probably be correct.
The guest of honor's finally here! You're looking well. Welcome back. Should we...
Yeah, so she's a bit more plain looking. She also has the most annoying laugh in the world. You have been warned.
Huh? Oh, he already knows about the Midnight Channel thing. He's actually the one who called me up about it.
Oh, I see. This has turned into a pretty thrown-together reunion, hasn't it? But I'm glad you came.
We chat some more while we all sit down. Then Yosuke stands up and clears his throat loudly. He's probably been waiting for the right moment to say something. He hasn't mentioned anything to me, but I can easily guess what he's about to say. We all look towards Yosuke.
Well, it sucks that we can't hang out more before jumping into another mystery, but to celebrate our partner's return, I hereby reinstate the investigation team in response to the Midnight Channel going back on the air last night.
Oh, the team is back! Just hearing that name again gets me all fired up. Yeah, let's do this!
Arista Jack, that's a tough one. Worse than Woody Woodpecker's laugh. Ooh. That's a tough one. I'd have to send you an audio clip of her laugh and judge for yourself. Or at some point it will happen in the game. It's a tough one. That's a lot tougher than you think. Huh?
I don't think the applause is necessary.
Why not? It's been 2 months since we all last saw each other, after all. Chie and Yukiko start chuckling when I shrug, and though Yosuke seems saddened at that, he still ends up laughing along as well. It's a relief to see that they're the same as always, but because of that, it makes me even more worried about the friends that aren't here right now. We can't start slacking off. We begin to sort through the information that we know about already.
Well, let's get cracking. I mean, this is no laughing matter. no one's heard from Teddy, Kanji, or Rise. Just those three, right?
As I say, you has heard from Teddy. I'll see if I can find a video clip of it and link you to it on Messenger or to Jack. If we don't get one in the game, we're probably going to get one at some point anyway.
Yeah. Oh, I got a hold of Naoto-kun, but I didn't tell her about this stuff.
You don't need to. Naoto will figure it out.
She told me she couldn't make it today because of her job, so I didn't want to worry her. She seemed pretty bummed that she couldn't be here too.
If she has a reason for not being here, and we can still contact her, then Naoto should be fine. That leaves Teddy, Rise, and Kanji. Not hearing back from them after an entire day hasn't passed isn't normal at all. The relationship between their sudden disappearances and the reappearance of the Midnight Channel last night disturbs me.
One thing's been bothering me. The picture on the TV was very clear last night.
Yeah. Going by the pattern from last year, it wouldn't be that clear until after the victim entered the TV.
Hey, isn't this the first time a big group of people was shown together? Plus, we're still here. Why us anyway? And what's up with those insulting descriptions?
Chias is pretty angry about it. Many of the locals know about the rumor of the Midnight Channel. In other words, the troubling broadcast has already been seen by who knows how many people. From what I've been told, the moment Chie tried to ask another student about the Midnight Channel, the other girl ran away with a look of fear on her face. It's no surprise that Chie would be angry.
What bothers me most is Teddy. He was acting like the host of that show.
Yeah, and we can't find him.
This smells fishy. Then again, I doubt he would play a prank like this for no reason.
I guess we'll just have to go inside the TV and find out what's going on.
That's right. Go inside the TV. And yes, people, if you don't play Persona 4, this isn't much of a spoiler. But instead of descending into the depths of Mementos, instead of climbing into Tartarus, in Persona 4, they jump into the television. That's how they go and fight shadows in this game. Out of everything, that was the element that shook our common sense the most out of everything we experienced last year. Actually, the murders in last year's events happened in another world inside the television. This world is filled with monsters called shadows that are born from people's hearts. Because my friends and I gained personas, the power to defeat these shadows, we were able to end the TV screens and fight them.
Will we be stuck in there without Teddy to give us an exit?
But even we persona users will find it extremely difficult to leave that world on our own. In order to come back, we need the exit TV that our friend Teddy was capable of creating.
Not so. I've had Teddy keep the exit TV out on that side.
Look at you, all prepared.
I mean, think about it. What if we were half asleep and fell into a TV when Teddy wasn't over there? Isn't that a scary thought?
Like anyone would be that clumsy.
Anyway, it sounds like it's safe for us to go investigate then.
No matter what the reason, it's reassuring to know that we have an exit strategy ready for us. To be honest, I almost fell into it the first time it appeared in my room after all.
Yeah, there's no doubt that something's going on in there. Is everyone ready?
We're all good to go. To tell the truth, I had a hunch that this was going to happen.
We all share a lot to confirm our intentions. All of them not back. I can see the seriousness in their eyes. Even though there was a 2-month gap since I last saw them, they continue to still put their trust in me. I feel a slight sense of pride as I stand up from the bench. The Launch Street TV in the electronics department is directly below the food court. That was the entrance we always used last year. And Avian, I would too. I'd be also dumb enough to fall into a TV like that.
It's a holiday, so the store's full of people.
I feel like things are picking up around town.
Oh, that's nice. One of the social links in the background there, Ari and her son.
It's been a while since last time.
I'm a little nervous.
Whoa, wait! There are still people in this aisle!
Hey, get ready!
Huh?
The customers are going away!
Uh-huh.
Let's go!
Yeah!
Oh, it's nice to see an actual animation of them going through the vortex.
Isn't this different from usual? Oh no! What do we do?
What can we do? We can't stop now!
I hear a voice. It's a woman's voice. It sounds familiar to me. This voice is...
Welcome to the Velvet Room.
I don't sense that distinctive floating feeling that I usually have when I enter the TV world. Honestly, Jack, it's an interesting idea being able to interfere with any TV show by just falling into the TV. Imagine that, you know, like it's a sports game and then suddenly you jump onto the pitch and nick the ball or something like that. Yeah, kids, don't do that. Don't invade any sports grounds. I don't advocate that. When I concentrate, I realize I must be sitting in a chair. The moment I open my eyes, I see vibrant blue. The Velvet Room. I visited this place an untold number of times last year, and once more in my dreams yesterday. I never thought I would return to this place.
Huh? It's not a dream this time? What's going on? Didn't my contract end already?
Igor, who usually sits front and center, is nowhere to be seen. The one to greet me is the one with silver hair, Margaret. Could this be a personal summoning then? That happened a few times last year too. Margaret smiles as if she senses my suspicions.
This room is tied to your fate. Nothing that occurs here is meaningless.
And she means that in more ways than one. Trust me on this.
Though you reached an end to one journey, you now find yourself here again. This shows that you will once again be faced with a question.
Can we go now? No? Wishful thinking, I know, but hey ho.
A question? And something really is going on?
Another mystery has appeared, and we are about to get dragged into it again. Could that be what she means?
From here on, what befalls you will upset your status quo. It is true that you've opened the door once already, but all things change. Nothing ever remains the same.
And by the way, in case you're curious, Margaret has kind of like a business suit kind of attire, which is different to Elizabeth, who went for the more elevator room style.
What you gained before will change over time as well. You will have to face them once again.
Face them? Again?
The first thing that Margaret's words stir up in her mind is the sight of my friend's smiling faces. Is that going to change? No, that can't be true. And face them again? That's impossible. Once I wake up and leave this room, I should still be with my friends. There's no need to jump to conclusions. But Margaret appears to have anticipated my thoughts and smiles while narrowing her eyes. You know, it's an interesting point, actually, Jack, you made. It's kind of like got a bit of a Scooby-Doo kind of vibe with like the four things solving the mystery. I wonder if that's probably one of the bigger influences for it, now I think about it. You got Narukami who's a Chad, kind of like Fred. I don't know, maybe. You're probably onto something there.
Show me how you will proceed down the path that awaits beyond the door you've opened.
My vision wavers, and the blue light before me vanishes quickly. Wait. I still need to know what you mean by those words. But you're not going to find out? And I can save my game again. Hey. Nearly an hour later. Jeez. Music room. And have you noticed that on the back wall, it's got like loads of like classical composers. There's a Mozart there, I think Bach is there. They've all got weird googly eyes to avoid copyright from what I can see. I can't make out those posters though as to what that is. Avian, don't start me singing. You don't want that. Where did I get thrown to when I left that blue room? The scenery is so unexpected that I'm at a loss. This is a school. It's the music room of Yasogami High. I attended the school with all my friends until recently. There's no mistaking it. And indeed I do, Avian. Yes, they've got shadow eyes. And this song, by the way, is literally called Backside of the TV. That's the title for this song. We entered the TV together, so why am I here? No, that's not right.
No, wait. This has to be the TV world.
The graffiti on the ground. Shoes placed like they're for some kind of ritual. The eerily shining eyes of the portraits on the wall. The more carefully I look, the more I realize that this place is not the real Yasogami High. Most of all, I sense no warmth from this place, like I always did from the students who would come and go from here. And as for the eyes, Alistair Jack, I'm guessing it's referencing the idea of being shadows. In Persona 4, and also in Persona 5 actually, I'll think about it. Anyone who had a shadow form, their eyes were yellow. So that's kind of what they're almost saying with the composer. It's like the composer's shadow selves. At least that's my interpretation. Let's say you see the background PI. I'm looking at it on my HD TV and I'm not seeing exactly... Oh, on the floor you mean? It'll be that P1. Do you remember what it said? The P1 arena. This is a fake. It's definitely not the school I attended. But what happened to turn the world inside the TV to this? On top of that, we entered the TV from our usual entrance, but it ended up in a completely different place.
This has never happened before.
I also realized that my friends aren't with me either. Did we somehow get separated? I start to feel chills down my spine and look around.
Hello! Sorry for the wait.
Okay, Risei's here. What the fuck? Yeah, it's P1 is the P1 arena, Avian. I saw it on the floor as well. You can actually see it under the piano.
Greetings, boys and girls of Yasogami. The P1 Grand Prix is about to begin.
There we are, proof. P1.
There's no need for manners or courtesy or anything today, so let it all hang out. Tell us how you really feel.
What the?
Oh, and I'll ask after Risei rather than the P1 Grand Prix. I shout out questions, but she doesn't answer. This is Kujikawa Risei, one of our friends on the investigation team that we couldn't contact. Does she not hear me, or is she choosing not to respond? As I ask myself this, I hear different voices echoing as well. I look around in surprise. These voices, it's not just from one or two people. I see countless students staring at me from the hallways, the entrance, everywhere I turn. Get out, Avian! Keep those bear puns out of my chat.
I, Rosette, will be your commentator. But first, the General has a few words for you all.
The General? What's going on? Why are there so many people inside the TV world? Before I can think of any answers, Risei makes another announcement. And as if on cue, the monitor in the music room turns on. What appeared on it was... Oh, fuck off, come on! He was wearing a strange hat and cape, just like he did on the Midnight Channel last night. First Risei, and now Teddy. What are they doing? A bear appearing on the TV? Kadaka, you fraud! You said Persona's a huge influence? Bullshit! You ripped it off!
You're all here now.
And a body has been discovered!
Well then, I'm proud to announce the opening of our very own P1 Grand Prix!
I'm loving the fact that they've made Teddy look like M. Bison from Street Fighter. I'm sure Capcom love that. There definitely wasn't an argument about copyright there, people. Oh, no. That's the same as well. That's the same bizarre tournament that was shown on the Midnight Channel. Then, is Teddy really the one behind this insanity?
Teddy, what's going on here? We came to look for you and Risei and...
Always with the talking, Sensei. It's a big waste of time. Less talk and more fighting. For the next challenger, come on down.
What? Next challenger? Is Kanji going to appear? Teddy looks away and makes a dismissive gesture. Smoke suddenly bursts out from underneath me and robs me of any visibility. Is there someone behind that white curtain? Eventually, my field of vision begins to clear. I keep my guard up, expecting anything. That's the Persona 3 music! Why's the Persona 3 music soundtrack playing? But who should appear but Yosuke? Though I hadn't expected to run into one like this, I'm relieved to see that he's safe. Teddy did say something about a challenger just a moment ago. I recall that the P1 Grand Prix that appeared on the Midnight Channel looks a lot like some kind of fighting competition. Wait. Am I supposed to fight Yosuke now? That's not funny at all.
They're expecting you and me to fight.
Looks like. Sheesh, what's Teddy thinking?
Starting that up already? I won't let you get all buddy-buddy with each other.
No worries, Avian. We'll try and enjoy as much as you can.
These battles are fought to the death. Only the victor can proceed.
This joke's gone on far enough, Teddy. We're not gonna play along with that.
I look over at Yosuke, hoping that he would agree with me. But Yosuke did not appear interested in what I had to say.
Really? I guess he should declare me the winner then.
Yosuke?
What? You don't plan on fighting, right? That means I win by default.
That was not what I was expecting to hear. What's gotten into you, Yosuke? Do you have some reason to be talking like this? I can't figure out what's going on. Yosuke continued to speak in a carefree manner. It said something that I simply couldn't believe.
Oh, but is that okay with you? I mean, since Nanako-chan's here and all?
What do you mean Nanako's here? Teddy, if you drag Nanako into the TV world and fought dirty, I'm gonna tear all your stuffing out and shove it up your fucking ass!
Nanako's here?
Wait, really? You haven't seen her? She's with Teddy.
That can't be. I saw Nanako back at the house when I left this morning. And even then, Nanako can't enter the TV world on her own. But she's in this world? I can't believe it for a moment. But what if it's true? Just coming into this world can be a tire a person out quickly. On top of that, if someone who can't use a persona comes here, it can sometimes be fatal.
Where is she? Yosuke, where's Nanako?
Whoa, what's gotten into you, partner? No need to get hysterical.
Why are you so calm about this? You know what happened to her last time she came here.
Yep, so unfortunately, Persona 4 spoiler time, people, I'm afraid. Nanako did come into this world once, last year. It was not something any one of us would have wanted to happen. That was the start of a whole chain of events. Remembering them is heart-wrenching even now. And yet, no. Even then, it might be wrong for me to lash out at Yosuke for the way he's acting. Calm down. I need to think straight here. All Yosuke said was that he saw her with Teddy. Then was Nanako brought here by Teddy? If he's the leader of this tournament...
Yosuke, be straight with me. Are you sure Nanako is with Teddy?
How should I know? If I had to guess, I'd say she's probably still with him. Man, are you alright? Are you that worried about Nanako-chan? It's no wonder people look at you funny, thinking you have a sister complex.
The sense of wrongness that I've been feeling this whole time is getting even stronger. True, Yosuke may say some insensitive things, but mostly that's because he reads too much into a situation and becomes outspoken. He's not the type of guy to enjoy making hurtful remarks like this.
Yosuke, are you alright?
Huh? What are you talking about? I should be the one saying that to you. She's not even your real sister. All that big bro stuff really creeps me out. It was a while ago that I saw her. It's probably too late to save her now.
Wow, what a dick.
You know how things went last year, after all.
Yosuke.
He's definitely not the Yosuke I know. Yosuke is my friend. He wouldn't be so callous as that. At least, I thought so up until now. He was the one who had to face the pain of losing someone he cared about when the murders first started last year. I can't hate him for accidentally mentioning someone who was dead, but the way he's acting, he's doing this on purpose. I silently draw my sword and face Yosuke.
Draw your weapon. You'll get your fight.
And now we got Persona 3 music again. It's the boss theme for when Strega falls.
What? Dude, what are you saying? You told me you let me win by default.
To be honest, I was thinking that this Yosuke was some kind of fake. I even wondered if something had happened to him and Yosuke's shadow would appear in this world. But this wrongness that I keep sensing is nothing like that. This probably is the real Yosuke. And the strangest I feel is because these words really are coming out of the mouth of someone I never thought would say them. If so, then...
I don't know if you're being controlled or if there's something else going on here. Either way, you must understand the best way to resolve the situation.
There's no way to tell if what I'm saying is getting through to him at all. But if I want to figure out what's going on, I'd just have to fall for this trap once.
Sorry, but I'm gonna go all out. No hard feelings.
Huh? All that talk and you're gonna fight against your partner after all? Well, whatever. Let's hurry up and get this started. Ready?
Okay, I think we've actually got a fight now, people. I can put a save in front of it as well, which is kind of helpful. So that's useful. So this fighting game has taken over an hour to get to the first fight. Wow! Persona 4's Persona 4's intro is back in the dead, people. The game that had a 3-hour tutorial.
Finals.
Oh, that's cool. I actually summoned Izanagi into the battlefield. That's annoying. I was kicking his ass and then suddenly he comes into it.
Still a match for you.
All right, it's over. Time to leave.
Oh. Okay. I've heard of a long build-up to a fight, but that was something else.
Amazing, Sensei! Keep that up and zoom on ahead!
For any of you who watched the Persona 3 stream and saw me using Armageddon, it wasn't quite as over as quickly as that, but not far off. False sense of security. It's going to get much, much, much harder.
Ahead? You're gonna continue with this? Teddy, about Nanako.
I don't want to spoil the surprise. If you want to find out, you'll have to get to me. And I can't say why, but I think you should hurry.
The monitor shuts off. I still haven't learned anything about Nanako. But he did seem to have been expecting me to ask about her. I don't want to think about it, but Nanako really may be here. The moment the monitor turned off, the students began to leave like waves in the receding tide. No, they don't look like students anymore. There's something inhuman just taking the shape of students. I was too focused on the fight to notice, but it seems their true forms were coming through. They look like silhouettes. Could they be shadows? Even so, I don't sense any hostility from them. Well, if they're not a threat and they're not going away, there's no need to worry and chase after them. Besides, there's something more important to do right now.
Yosuke, are you alright?
I walk towards where Yosuke lies collapsed on the ground and give him my hand to help him up.
Ow! Couldn't you hold back a little? I seriously thought you were gonna kill me.
The same went for you. I wouldn't have stood a chance if I held back on you.
Yosuke grimaces in pain as he stands, but he doesn't seem to have suffered any severe injuries. That's good. I knew I couldn't risk going easy on him, so I was a little worried I'd actually hurt him. But once we get a good look at each other, Yosuke's demeanor suddenly changes.
Anyway, that aside, shut up about the nurses already. It's not like that's the only thing I ever think about.
No worries, Aristide. You gotta go get some sleep, and that's absolutely fine, mate. As I say, the archive's going to be up from tomorrow or process overnight, so if you want to find out what else happens in this bonkers story, check it out anytime.
What's this about nurses?
Huh? You were harping on it the whole time. How can you stand there and constantly bash my taste in women with a straight face? Is it such a crime to like nurses?
It's a bit cliche, and again, If it means liking me can, then yes, it is a crime.
Wait a second.
I don't understand why he's suddenly angry, but he's not making any sense at all. I tell Yosuke to calm down, and we go over what he thought had happened just before the fight. We learn in our memories of what each of us has been saying didn't match up at all. According to Yosuke, it seems that I've been, well, teasing him about his taste in women. Yosuke was so heated up over what I supposedly said that he almost went into graphic detail, but I stopped him before things went too far. I mean, really. It's best for both of us to pretend this had never happened. But thanks to our conversation after the battle, I've kind of realized something. If we've been hearing each other say things neither of us have been meaning to say, then...
Okay, let me ask you something. Is it true that Nanako is here in this world?
She is?
Yosuke is at a loss for words. He had no idea what I was talking about. It's just as I thought. Yosuke doesn't know anything about Nanako. If that's true, then what I heard Yosuke saying before the fight was something that Yosuke couldn't have possibly said. This only makes me more convinced that I have the right idea. What I had heard wasn't what Yosuke had meant to say. I don't know how, but something else had made Yosuke say those words, even if he didn't know he was saying them. That reminds me. Teddy on the screen had said that I needed to get to him when I wanted to get the truth. Does that mean that Teddy had done this to us?
I guess there's no choice but to keep going.
Nanako is good friends with Teddy. I don't want to imagine it happening, but if Teddy wanted to kidnap Nanako, it certainly possibly could have. I want to go home at once to check to make sure she's okay, but I have no idea where I am. Even worse, Teddy holds the means of returning to the real world. There's no way out of here unless I find Teddy on my own.
Enough?
Yeah.
Well, be careful.
Be careful. I'm worried about you. Do your best. I sense a lot of emotions behind those words. Yes, I know that now. I'm hearing the real Yosuke. I take Yosuke's cheering me on the heart and leave the music room. Teddy had said that only the winner could go on from this tournament. I don't know exactly what that means, but it's probably not a lie. Yosuke understands that as well. That's why he's trusting me to sort it all out and lets me go without much talk. He's frustrated that he can't help me out. I could just be jumping to conclusions there. After all, Teddy did say that this was the rule, but we don't have any proof either way. Well, I might as well see what he meant by that. I stop working and turn back to Yosuke.
One last thing. About those nurses.
Quit it already! Are you out of your mind again?
Yosuke turns bright red and rushes towards me, flailing wildly in an attempt to stop me from finishing. And... there's a painful sounding noise as he runs into something invisible and slowly slides to the floor.
What is this?
So there's an invisible wall. Looks like the loser can't leave the room.
Wow, the game actually acknowledged the invisible wall. I'm impressed. It looks like there's some kind of force that prevents the loser from leaving the area where the fight took place. It's likely that every time one of these battles happens here, the winners will get sorted out this way. That's annoying.
That's how it works now. Thanks.
If Teddy really has kidnapped Nanako, there's no time to lose.
Don't use me as your guinea pig. Wait, that's it? Hey, don't wear yourself out, alright?
I turn away as Yosuke shouts at me. Not to worry, Yosuke. I give him a quick smile before leaving the area for real this time. At that moment, I feel a wave of disorientation crash over me. I'm surprised that this is happening without warning, but it's not a threat. After all, I know this feeling all too well. Back to the Velvet Room? I was right.
Welcome to the Velvet Room.
I've been leaving the music room, but now I'm sitting in the Velvet Room for some reason. Margaret greets me with her usual smile. This room truly is mysterious. But why would she summon me like this? Margaret sees my suspicious expression and speaks up.
Things have only just begun, and yet you already seem tired. The misfortune that has befallen you can be thought of as a sort of trial.
A trial?
I want to know the details behind her words, but I know that she won't answer me even if I ask. The inhabitants of the Velvet Room never reveal anything. Unless you're Makoto Yuki. And Elizabeth is in your bedroom. Oh yeah. Boldly say yes. You're damn right I boldly said yes. That's because they can only watch over the choices their guests make. Margaret's smile broadens when she sees that I don't intend to ask her anything.
Indeed. I am an observer on your journey. I would do nothing so thoughtless as to force you to make choices. You do not need such provocations. I already know that you shine brilliantly enough.
Well, I mean, Margaret, come on, it's obvious it's me. I mean, what do you expect? And everyone in the audience is like, bruh, no. And the audience would be correct. This shine she speaks of. Could it be about my ability to use personas?
Yes, that is part of your brilliance. Personas are masks of resolution, strengthened by controlling one's heart, by forming bonds. You understand this well, don't you?
Yeah, that's how we all fought up till now.
Yes, indeed. But one's heart is intangible. It cannot be seen and cannot be felt. When polished, it releases a strong light unlike anything else. But it can also be clouded by trivial things. Have you ever felt that way? You truly are strong. I find that very appealing about you. But you should remember that not everyone is as strong as you.
Margaret's voice fades away as she answers me.
From here on, you will be forced to re-examine the things you know as bonds. How will you face the changes to come, and what choices will you make?
When I open my eyes again, I'm in the school's hallway. Now, looking at the images here, we're seeing quite a lot of the P1 Grand Prix on the side. And some very strange artwork, but no real clues. It's almost like concept art. I kind of like it. And I like the fact that the classroom has got P1 as the board as well. I turn around and see the door in the music room close behind me. Was I only summoned in the Velvet Room in spirit? There's no way for me to figure out what just happened, but I think back on what Margaret had told me.
Changes, huh?
Even though the people at the Velvet Room avoid saying much, what little they do have to say always has meaning. Well, it's true that Margaret has said some strange things while I've known her. Yep, and I'm not going to spoil it, but in the anime of this game, she says one particular thing to Nanako, which Nanako repeats to Narukami. And oh boy, is it awkward. I'm not saying any more. Check the anime out if you want to know what I mean. But she's never said anything meaningless on duty. I would assume that this would be the case now. I may have to keep her word to heart. Oh, okay, another bookmark. Oh, I find it strange. I wasn't able to save for nearly an hour, and now I've been able to save 3 times in like less than 15 minutes. Inconsistency. Big time. In any case, I need to concentrate on this case for now. I'm sure he'll understand the meaning behind what she said when the time comes. I must proceed. Though this bizarre place looks nothing like the Yasagami High I attended, the building seems strangely familiar as I run through it. Teddy had appeared on the monitor in the music room. From the looks of things, he appeared to be behind what was happening. But I heard Risei's voice over the school's PA system before my fight with Yosuke. If this school works anything like a real one, I can make a good guess as to where Teddy and Risei are.
It might be the announcement room.
But of course, things like aren't that easy. Those invisible walls keep getting in my way wherever I go. It seems that some of these walls don't let anybody through, no matter if they won or lost their fights. Every single time I run into one, I'm forced to take another path. It's like my route is already set for me.
I feel like I'm being led somewhere.
I stop for a moment in the hallway out of the practice building and mutter to myself while I take a look around. Who is... No! Where are they trying to lead me? Yeah, exactly. I get the feeling they might try and lead him outside of school. At that moment...
Hey, you there! You one of them participants
Who are you? A voice that I don't recognize at all breaks me from my reverie. I instinctively jump back and draw my sword in surprise.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! What's the big idea? You could poke someone's eye out swinging that thing around.
Red eyes, long ponytail, and a Summer Yasagami High uniform? Who the fuck are you? I turn to see a girl that I've never seen before. Was she part of that crowd? No, she looks like a real person. She was caught by surprise when I suddenly pointed my weapon at her. Although she flinches, her words don't lose any of their intensity. How bold of her. That may seem like an odd thing to say, but it's what suddenly crosses my mind. But this girl doesn't seem to have any intention of attacking me. I sheath my sword, but remain conscious.
Sorry, I didn't mean to startle you.
Sorry ain't gonna cut it. What were you gonna do if you hurt one of the students here, huh?
Go to the ramen shop, go to a diner and take on the bottomless meat challenge. Fight shadows. Push someone into the TV. I don't know. Plenty of things could do.
You can't go pulling that stuff without student council approval.
You're not in the student council. Where's your sash to say you're part of the council? That's a good point. Persona 4. Who actually was in the student council in Persona 4? I don't remember coming across a student council member.
Alright, the jig is up. I'm putting the kibosh on this tournament right now.
Okay, well, you've certainly got a good start here. I'll give you that much.
Hey, wait, hold on a second. I'm not in this because I want to be. I'm trying to stop the tournament.
I'm trying to act non-threatening, but the girl continues to glare at me. Who in the world is this girl? She's wearing a Yasagami High uniform. She said something about the student council, but I don't recognize her. You don't encounter people here in this world that often. If a person is here, then they're either a Persona user or...
Why are you here, by the way? Wait, did you fall inside a TV?
That's right. I might have put it a little differently, but if she can't enter a TV herself, the only possibility is that someone threw her in. That was what was happening in the murders from last year.
All inside a TV? What kind of nonsense is that?
She's not aware of it. But if she was a Persona user, I don't see why she'd hide that fact. If she was trying to keep that from me, then she wouldn't have come to talk to me like this. Does that mean she's a victim after all? I carefully choose my words to avoid provoking the girl, and introduce myself.
Narukami. I was a second year at Yasogami High until last year.
Huh? Last year? But that uniform.
Oh no, this is kind of my usual equipment when I'm in the TV world.
Equipment?
Never mind. Forget it.
Yep, Narukami, referencing the fact that it used to be a turn-based JRPG.
Well, if you were only around till last year, I ain't gonna blame you for not knowing. I'm the new student council president. Nice meeting you.
You're the student council president? You? She doesn't look as fierce as Mitsuru or Makoto, does she? She doesn't have the same level of ferocity, although we said that the eyes are kind of similar to Mitsuru's. Nah, it's definitely not Mitsuru in disguise. That makes no sense. The student council president? If I remember it correctly, the student council elections should have taken place just before the holidays. I have no knowledge who won those elections since I'd left Inaba before they took place. That reminds me, I didn't have any friends on the student council last year either. This girl may very well be the president. No reason not to believe her.
Now it's your turn to spill. You said you ain't in the tournament because you want to be. Then what are you doing here? And what's this tournament about in the first place?
I feel that if I don't explain things very clearly to her, it will only provoke her further. But trying to tell her everything about what was going on here will only confuse her. I leave out the fact that this place is inside a television, and tell her about the other things that are going on. First, I tell her about Teddy, that a friend of mine is likely the one who set this tournament up. Second, that I encountered some of my friends who were dragged into this as well, but they were acting strangely. And third, that my cousin, Nanako, still in elementary school, may have been dragged into this mess. The girl calling herself the student council president seems skeptical while I talk, but eventually she sighs.
So if I got this right, you didn't start this, but your friend did. Well, you don't seem like you're lying.
It seems that she somehow grasped the gist of what I was trying to say. I thank her out of politeness, but she laughs and asks why I'm thanking her. There's still one more difficult task left at hand. How do I make her understand that all of this is within another world, one accessed by going through a TV screen? She still appears to be energetic, but it doesn't change the fact that she's in danger. I'm yet to get her out of this world, no matter what.
I ought to tell you to go home, but I get that you're worried about your sis. Come on, let's go check it out.
I don't know what impact the choices will have on the story, but I might as well do it anyway. We both start running at the same time. Sorry, frog in my throat, guys. I reach my full running speed when something occurs to me. I'm surprised to see that Miss President keeping pace right beside me. Just standing still in this world would be strenuous for a normal person, but she doesn't even seem out of breath. She's quite impressive. I take a moment to quietly praise the girl running next to me. What the hell? We burst into the gym where all the noise came from, but there's no one here. Look at all those chairs and how they're all stacked. What the fuck happened here? Instead, we see huge piles of stacked chairs. They're twisted and intertwined everywhere on the open floor of the gym, forming huge towers that reach almost to the ceiling.
What is this? Who'd go to all this trouble?
The girl stares up at the chairs, seemingly dumbfounded. Suddenly, the monitor in the gym flickers to life. And as I expected, Teddy appears again in that costume.
Oh, are you on a hot date, Sensei? Well, that's fine with me, of course. But shouldn't you keep your mind on the fighting? Wow, you look so mortified. That's the face I was hoping to see.
He's not saying anything completely straight, but he's obviously hinting that he knows I'm worried about Nanako. I know that saving Nanako is important, but I can't leave Miss President here alone and abandon her to this world either. Still, I feel Teddy's words causing me to doubt myself, and Miss President raises her voice.
Hey, you! You're the ringleader of this mess, aren't you? What's the idea? Raising a ruckus like this without running it by the student council. Pack it in and clean all this up already.
Well, she's got sass, this girl. She speaks as fast and clearly as she had when I first met her. After getting a clear look at her, I feel like I've come to realize where she gets her courage from. She truly wishes to protect her school. Her strong awareness of her duty is surpassing her fear. But Teddy on the monitor looks annoyed and sneers at Miss President. It's incredibly detestable. I can't believe that Teddy can't even make him such a malicious expression.
That tiny thing. I'm in the middle of an important conversation with Sensei. A yappy little mutt like you should be muzzled and sit in the corner.
Oh! Ouch!
Sit, puppy. Sit.
Damn! He has absolutely no intent of dealing with her seriously. And look at that face. She is pissed. Miss President turns bright red in humiliation from being brushed off like that. This is enough. I take a step forward and put myself between the monitor and Miss President.
Leave this to me.
Miss President's lips are trembling. She must be angry that there's nothing she can do herself. I don't want to let those feelings continue, so I turn to face the Teddy on the monitor.
It's pretty harsh, Teddy. Hard to believe a woman like you would say such things.
What's so attractive about a shameless liar like her?
Liar? You know something about her?
The way he said that makes me sound as if there's some history between the pair of them. But as usual, he doesn't bother to give any details in his answer.
Sensei, your opponent's getting tired of waiting for you.
What opponent?
The next challenger, come on down.
It'll be Yukiko or Chie, I reckon. After that line, another cloud of smoke rises from the floor. But this time, it is Yukiko who appears. I was right.
Oh, thank goodness you're safe. What's the matter?
It's nothing. Are you alright? Has anything odd happened to you?
Odd? No, I don't think so.
Yukiko seems alarmed to see me in a defensive posture. I feel my shoulders relax in relief as I shift my weight to stand normally. It seems that she hasn't been affected like Yosuke had. I didn't think I'd been that tense though. Now that's the Yukiko I remember. She's as sharp as always, exactly when we need her. If she's not being confused, then I can immediately ask for her help. I try to explain what I need from her.
Hanako might be in here. I'm heading to the announcement room where Teddy is.
Yeah, but you say it's Peko. It's not Pekoyama. Is it the same voice actress? That'd be kind of cool, actually.
I need you to protect this girl from me. She might be a victim of all this.
And this music, but it's not from Danganronpa. No, this is the backside of the TV that plays in the... When you first go into the TV world in Persona 4, and you're standing around in the central hub, this is the music that plays. I motion towards Mrs. President, standing next to me. Yuko looks at me in surprise. I don't blame her, though. But what Yuko said next was even more surprising.
Why do I have to do that? It's not like I know her or anything.
I'm not going to help her because I don't know her. Is that really what she's saying? I can understand that she might be cautious when meeting someone for the first time, but would Yukiko really think that way? Yeah, silver hair, red eyes. I suppose it could be. Again, maybe that's the guys at Atlas paying back Kodaka, because again, Kodaka, who produced Danganronpa, has said that Persona was a huge influence on Danganronpa. It's why in Persona 5, Sejiro, believe it or not, can give you as a reward for doing well in your exams, underwear. And that's exactly what happens in the Danganronpa social links. They give you their underwear. It's got to be the same as with Yosuke. That same uncanny sense of wrongness is coming back whenever I hear Yukiko speak.
Yukiko, not you too. Calm down and listen to me. Can you understand what I'm saying?
Huh? What are you saying all of a sudden? I can hear you clearly. What did you mean by you too?
When I try to question her, Yukiko's expression returns to normal. I can't tell anymore. She doesn't look like she's being controlled by someone. Am I overthinking this too much? At the very least, she doesn't seem enthusiastic about this P1 Grand Prix.
This is probably a trick the enemy is playing on us. They're trying to get us to fight each other. I'll say it one more time, Yukiko. I'd like you to protect this girl for me.
Sorry, but I don't know how to put this. It just feels like you're being really selfish. You always help people who have nothing to do with you, and I admire that. But where does that leave us? It's always your friends who get put in danger because of your self-centeredness.
I'm used to hearing her voice. Her words are scathing. I'm convinced now. There's no obvious change in her attitude like there had been with Yosuke, but something must be warping Yukiko's words too. Her words may seem like a sound argument, but she means something else. I don't care if someone who isn't related to me gets hurt. That's definitely not something Yukiko would say. The real Yukiko would never say something that disrespects the value of life that way. Don't be deluded. Whatever happened to Yosuke is happening to Yukiko too. I don't understand the details, but Yukiko hasn't had a complete change of heart. A change of heart. This game came out 4 years before Persona 5, by the way.
What the? Yuka?
How does she know my name? Oh wait, I told her. When I draw my sword, Miss President quickly tries to stop me, but I can't answer her right now. If a battle will clear up this pointless misunderstanding between us, then the time to fight is now.
Ooh, now that's our senpai. You'll show no mercy, not even to a girl if it's for your own goals. You're a real bastard with a sister complex.
Ooh.
Keep it up and bring them all down.
Damn! Risei's really annoyed at the fact that I chose Chie instead of her on my playthrough. Risei is pissed. I ignore the taunts behind being delivered in Risei's voice. Even if our words aren't getting through to each other and we have to fight without understanding what's going on, we'll come to an understanding later. I have to believe. Both myself and my friends. I hold my sword to the side to protect Mr. President, who's standing beside me.
Sorry, but you need to stay back. Whatever you see here, try to stay calm. Promise me you won't run away.
What happens next will probably surprise her greatly, but I doubt Miss President will run away. She's already shown me how strong her determination is. I glance at her over my shoulder. Although she looks worried, she still gives me a slight nod of agreement. Now, time to do this. I must end this as quickly as possible.
Persona.
I concentrate all my senses to summon my strength of heart. My persona. Izanagi! If I allow myself to go easy on Yukiko, she will surely defeat me. Yukiko smiles faintly and takes her battle stance. She resisted the idea of protecting Miss President, but she seems to have no qualms whatsoever about fighting me. There's definitely something else controlling her.
Come, Konohana Sakuya.
Yukiko's black hair forms graceful arcs in the air as her persona, Konohana Sakuya, rises behind her. That's right. The usual Yukiko should have a beautiful heart like this. Wait for me. I will save you. Okay, I'll place a quick bookmark here. The last fight went far too easy. I'm expecting this to be much harder.
Finally.
Oh wow, 10 hits. Jesus, wow, she's got a lot of hits in with her fan. Not much you can do when you're in the air juggled like that. Oh, she can throw fireballs as well. That's annoying. I can't actually hit her at the moment. That's useful. I'm getting my arse absolutely pummeled here, and there's not much I can really do about it. Oh, what a way to clutch the fight! Yeah, that was a miraculous victory. I did not deserve to win that fight. I clutched it in the best way possible. That was comeback of the century. But that was only the second fight, people. The second. What chance have I got against anybody else? What fight were you watching? A thrashing my fucking ass? That wasn't a thrashing!
I love all this animosity!
Oh, that's painful. Oh my god, that is one of the most painful puns I've ever heard.
These cocky, self-righteous friends showing how they really feel by beating the crap out of each other. That's the real thrill of the P1 Grand Prix!
I don't care to hear any more of Teddy's jests. I still have reservations about fighting against my friends, but I now know that there's another way to save them. I'm resolved to do what must be done. Also, there's no knowing if Teddy and Rise have been affected by just like Yosuke and Yukio had. If they are, then there's no use trying to talk to them through the monitor like this. That's the conclusion I've come to. But Miss President seems to have other ideas.
How much further are you gonna push this? Why are you doing it anyway? These guys are friends. What's so much fun about making friends fight each other?
Miss President vents her frustration at Teddy's image on the monitor. But I was a bit surprised at how she worded it. She seemed more upset that he was making friends fight each other, not why he had dragged the entire school into this mess. We've only just met, but she clearly sympathizes with us and understands the pain we're going through. I'm embarrassed, but proud at the same time. Yeah, and that's why I don't trust her. I'm sorry, but she comes in and then acts like a Mary Sue, asking why you're all doing this. Have you also noticed she's got an almost like you Narukami sweep over to her hair as well? I don't like it, I don't trust her. I think she's a secret antagonist. A girl with such compassion would be a great student council president. It's no wonder she was elected to represent the student body at Yasukami High.
It's alright. Thanks, though.
It's not alright! This is...
She still works up, she lashes out at me. Perhaps her heart is a little too honest. But her anger sets my mind at ease. She's right. What General Teddy is doing right now cannot be forgiven. I glare at the monitor.
Sorry, but you're not getting your wish.
What?
Did you think this would be all it took to break us apart? That it would make us hate each other? Sorry to say, but that's a huge mistake on your part. I believe in my friends. They'll never get taken in like that.
You're so stupid! What kind of sensei are you?
I'm warning you now. If you really are Teddy, then we'll get you back to normal no matter what it takes. Even if it costs us our lives. But if you're an imposter, hiding behind Teddy's face, I will make you pay for toying with us.
Teddy scoffs and turns around. The monitor suddenly switches off. Yeah, you say this sounds kind of similar to the Danganronpa music. I don't know, I don't remember hearing this kind of theme in the Danganronpa side, but certain parts of it wouldn't surprise me. Suddenly turning on us without any signs of remorse. That's not like Teddy at all. No, he's most likely not the real Teddy. Seeing the anger in his face only strengthens my suspicions. I know for a fact that won't be Avian. I know for as much as I would love for Persona and Danganronpa to actually do a proper crossover, it's never actually happened, believe it or not. You'd think with Teddy and Monokuma they could like do some kind of crazy mash-up TV war which ends up dragging the students from Yasukami High into Hope's Peak along with the cast from DR1. Kind of like when Professor Layton crossed over with Phoenix Wright. But to my knowledge, it's not happened, and it's unlikely ever to, sadly. It's a shame, because a lot of Persona fans love Danganronpa, so it'd be brilliant. Someone must be taking Teddy's phone to make it look like he's the one committing these acts.
That girl's come around.
I immediately rush to Yukio's side.
Yukiko, are you alright? I'm sorry I couldn't go easy on you.
No, it's okay. You weren't your usual self, but I could tell by your eyes that there was something going on. I'm sorry too. Did I hurt you?
Kinda, yeah. I sure wouldn't want to get into it with you again.
I try to pass it off as a joke, and we look at each other and laugh. Things are going the same way as they had with Yosuke. It's becoming clear now.
Did I say things that offended you earlier?
Yes. You did.
Yukio hesitates, as if even remembering it is a difficult experience. Yeah, the singer hitting the high notes could be kind of similar, yeah, I know what you mean. What in the world did my illusion say to her? I bet it was something horrible. Whoever's doing this is certainly finding the most annoying way to get us to fight. But what I supposedly said to her doesn't matter. Yukio is still hesitant to bring it up, so I tell her not to worry about it.
I don't need to know what I said. I just wanted to see if my guess was right. It looks like our enemy has the power to confuse our senses. My first opponent was Yosuke, and he told me a similar story after we fought.
Huh? You said something bad to Yosuke-kun too? What did you tell him?
You sure you want to know?
If I'm the only one admitting to what happened, that's not fair, is it? But that curiosity is in line with the Yukiko I know. I evade the issue with a smile and call out to Miss President, who's standing behind us.
What kind of people are you?
Hmm? Oh, right. We used our personas.
Yeah, we should at least explain to her what's going on.
She did see everything that had just happened. This would be a good opportunity to tell her everything. I introduced Miss President and Yukio to each other, and fill in the parts I'd left out of my previous explanation. I tell her about the personas. I tell her that we're actually in a world inside the television. And I tell her how the scenery here changes according to the hearts of the people who enter it. She looks doubtful while I'm talking, but considering that she's just seen our personas only moments ago, she doesn't immediately deny it. Still, it seems she can't accept it all either. She crosses her arms as if lost in thought. On the other hand, it seems that Yukio didn't know that Yasugami hired a new student council president either. Yukio apologized for not having paid attention to the elections in April. Called it! Yukio doesn't remember either. The mystery girl is a shadow. Or some kind of shadow. I don't know the whole story. But there's something about her.
And that's it in a nutshell.
So, that's what you meant by falling into a TV.
Yeah, which makes me believe this school could be a part of your mind that's materialized.
Right. I don't know how this is possible, but I'm going to call it. I've just realised what her face reminds me of. Metis. From Persona 3 FES The Answer. She's an anti-shadow weapon. I'm calling it now. The red eyes, the cheekbone, that's exactly the same as Metis.
This school came from me? That's a lot to swallow. I'm not surprised. Why is it different this time around, though? Usually the victim's shadow appears first.
That's right. I had doubts about that too. There's a reason why it's dangerous for people who can't use their personas to enter this world. Besides the obvious reasons, such as not being able to escape and being unable to protect themselves from shadows, a person's shadow separates from them. The shadows are split off as strongly attached to the original people they come from, and will try to harm them to become independent identities. I hadn't given it much thought, since Miss President seems so energetic, but it's still possible that this has happened to her as well. I put this together with the conversation I had with Teddy a moment ago and come to a conclusion.
Teddy who's hosting this tournament? What if he's actually this girl's shadow?
Huh?
I noticed he got agitated when I called him an imposter. A fake Teddy would mean he's someone else using Teddy's form.
I see. If this place reflects Miss President's heart, her shadow must be here. And right now, the strongest candidate is...
That's right. If we both saw an illusion, then at the very least the enemy has the power to delude our senses and make us see and hear things that aren't there. On top of that, it can alter what others hear us say and see us do. If it could do that, then I can easily see that our enemy can use that power to change its appearance. That means it could be impersonating Teddy and leading this tournament. That still leaves the question as to why I would take on the appearance of someone that doesn't know. I see shadows in the past that took on bizarre appearances, but this is the first time I've seen one impersonating an existing person. Does this shadow have some kind of objective? When I come to my senses, I see that Miss President has turned pale and staring down at the ground. All this talk of shadows in another world doesn't seem to be reaching her, but she seems troubled at the thought that she might be causing all this trouble. I'm about to tell her that the actions of her shadow are her fault, but Miss President rises to her feet.
I'm gonna check out the announcement room. That General Teddy's behind the whole shebang, right? And if it came from me, then I gotta own up to the responsibility. A student body president, I can't let this go.
Wait, you're being reckless. We'll take care of the shadow. You need to...
What? Get out of this TV world? And how am I supposed to do that? Go on. Show me the door.
Yep, she's got the same kind of sass as Metis as well. I'm right.
Well...
Her eyes are filled with the fires of determination, just as they had been when I first met her. Her sense of responsibility and her awareness of her duty say that she will never back down.
Your cousin's in the announcement room, and you're gonna go save her, right? I might not be as strong as the two of you, but I'm no slouch in a fight. Wouldn't it be better if we went together?
No, don't you understand? This world is...
I know it's dangerous, but there's gotta be something only I can do to help. Hell, that aside, I can't leave after causing so much trouble. Making friends fight each other. I'm going on ahead. You don't want to waste time arguing, yeah?
Miss President declares in a voice that brooks no argument and takes off running. Yikes. I wasn't expecting her to behave rashly like this. I remember how fast she can run. If I'm going to go after her, I need to go at once or I'll lose her.
Please, you have to go after her.
Yukio sees me hesitate and knows exactly what to say. She's right. There's so much we don't understand, but there's no way the investigation team can let a victim run out to die. Yukio ignores the fact that I'm leaving her alone and tells me to follow a girl whom she's only just met. This is the exact opposite of the behavior she'd been displaying before the fight. Now that is the Yukiko Amagi I know. I'm ashamed that I'd even slightly let myself be confused by the way I'd heard her speak before, and I answer her.
I believe in you.
Yukiko nods to me, and I turn to begin running as fast as I can. I have to rely on the faint echoes of footsteps ahead to pursue Miss President throughout the school. I can't use my memories of the school in order to navigate, because the invisible walls are everywhere. But the announcement room is upstairs. That obviously limits the passes she could take. I will catch up with her, no matter what. I've been running after Miss President for a while, but I still can't catch sight of her. She's so fast, it's almost supernatural. I even begin to think that her path may not be hindered by the walls. Wait a second. Now that I think about it, she's not a participant in the P1 Grand Prix. She didn't appear in the introduction video, and even though she'd been there when I faced off with Yukiko, she wasn't affected by the rules. Could she be able to walk through these walls? If so, then catching up to her would be quite difficult. Just as I'm thinking this, suddenly a blue door appears in my path. I've seen this before. This is the entrance to the Velvet Room. I don't have time to deal with this. Or so I think. But when I consider the timing of its appearance, I can't help but feel there must be a reason for it. I make up my mind and reach for the door. As I walk through, I feel a slight sense of lightheadedness, and I close my eyes reflexively. When I open my eyes, I'm seated in my usual position, and Margaret is smiling quietly at me, as if nothing is different. When she sees that I've noticed her, she speaks, as if aware of my impatience.
You seem flustered, but time has no meaning here.
Margaret politely points this out, knowing that I'm in a hurry. Time is meaningless, sir. In which case, we'll crack open the bar, we'll sit down, and we'll put on a film, and then after that we'll get a kip and get our strength back. That's my strategy. But minors can't drink, so the bar is off limits. I thought I had figured out a few things about this room, but it seems there's still more for me to learn about it. If time doesn't pass while I'm in this room, then I should concentrate on what she's about to tell me. Once again, as if reading my thoughts, Margaret smiles.
It seems you've emerged victorious and have come away with a piece of the truth. Though you are in a garden of deceit, you have the vision to go forward. Very impressive.
Is that student council president's shadow really the cause of all this then?
Who can say? All I know is that you are getting ever closer to the truth.
And that's a big theme of Persona 4? Finding the truth.
There is one thing I can tell you.
Margaret's golden eyes fixed on mine.
If that girl's shadow is the cause of this misfortune, she will face her trial. But it's separate from your fate. You have your own trial to overcome. Keep that to heart.
My own trial?
I didn't mean to, but I repeat what Margaret just said.
Everyone sees various things in you that draw them to you. Salvation, hope. I myself find fascination in watching over you.
Oh, I bet you do. Just like Elizabeth found fascination with Makoto.
Fate may not be the author of your trials, but you are destined to be tested.
Margaret smiles mischievously and nods towards me. And then we'll kick back out to the main world again. Another slight feeling of lightheadedness passes, and I return to that otherworldly school. The blue door is nowhere to be found, as if it had never been there to begin with. I look up. I still don't understand what my own trial is supposed to be, but for some reason, my mind has cleared up a bit. Yeah, we'll place a bookmark here, that's what we'll do. In any case, I need to keep chasing after Miss President. And now I immediately see a recognizable feature. Her long ponytail.
Wait!
I found her.
It's too dangerous to go alone.
Avian, yes. that canon route, yes. Another pair of possible parents for the twins. Yeah, that's really quite dodgy. Miss President turns around in response to my voice. She's smiling. I wasn't expecting that at all.
Color me impressed that you managed to catch up to me so quick.
This calmness. Had she expected I would follow her? I'm beginning to feel like she's toying with me. But I understand now. Nothing I say to her will change her mind. There's no helping it then.
Promise me that you won't leave my side. And you can't do anything rash. If you can't agree to those terms, I'll have to force you into protective custody. This is a matter of life and death for you.
Sure thing. Then let's get to that announcement room together.
I thought I'd be able to keep her in check by saying her life was in danger, but she didn't seem to take any notice. She just shrugged and accepted my proposal. She's quite hard to deal with. I'm not sure she knows how I'm feeling, but she speaks up.
Mind if I ask you something?
What is it?
There's a moment of silence. Just as I'm about to ask her to go on, Miss President continues.
It's tough, being forced to fight your friends, huh? Oh, sorry. You don't gotta answer.
She must still be thinking about my fight with Yukiko. True, I'm slightly hesitant to talk about any of this, but it's a question that must be answered. Yeah, Avian, as you say, you think she's leading him into a trap? I called that she's either an antagonist or she's an anti-shadow weapon of some kind. She reminds me too much of Mementos. That's how it feels to me.
No, you're right. If I could avoid it, I would. But I believe in my friends.
You mean your friends won't hate you after the fight? Or you think they'll understand that you don't really want to fight?
I don't know. Both, maybe. I mean, there's no way we'd fight each other without some kind of reason.
We should believe that answer? I study Miss President's face. But when she opens her mouth, she has an unexpectedly gloomy look in her eyes.
What if you had to kill each other?
Ooh, ouch! Kill each other? I truly hadn't anticipated that question. I caught off guard by how I hadn't even considered it. It's true. There's no guarantee that this General Teddy won't suddenly decide to make us fight to the death on a whim.
Sorry, that was probably over the line. I don't know why I said that.
I wouldn't let it happen.
Even if I was forced into such a situation, I would never follow that order. That's all I can say right now. But after hearing my answer, Miss President casts her eyes down again. After seeing that behavior, how do I put this? I felt a sense of incongruity. Why could that be? Something doesn't feel like her. Can Miss President be carrying some unimaginable burden that she has yet to confide in us? Is it so heavy that she would ask that question of me? Speaking of which, if General Teddy does turn out to be her shadow, what does that mean about whatever repressed thoughts she truly has? Suddenly it seems that her courageous and cheerful demeanor are a mirror image of that, and a slight sense of fear chills my spine. My thoughts race through my head while we walk down the hallway.
What are you doing?
I thought I brought my nose for a moment. It's that invisible wall again. Even though I should have been expecting him, I relaxed my guard and walked right into one. I hold my nose and wait away Miss President, who looks concerned.
There's an invisible wall. I don't think I can go through here.
An invisible wall? Oh, that must have been why you broke out of the mime act every now and then. Well, if I can pass through, it must only be blocking the tournament fighters. This world sure is out there.
Miss President walks right through the place I had bumped into. So, that must be the case. As I'd imagined, Miss President is unaffected by these walls. Is it because she's not one of the fighters in the Grand Prix? Of course, if General Teddy really is her shadow, maybe the normal rules don't apply to her. The entrance leading into the school building is ahead of us. But perhaps worst of all is that the wall I just walked to is blocking me from reaching there. I'll just have to find some other way. No. There are walls there too. and the same can be said for the direction towards the entrance. A thought crosses my mind as I to check back the way we come. It's as I thought. Another invisible wall is formed where I just passed and I can't go back. With walls in every direction. There's nowhere I could go. I'm trapped. And if I can't go anywhere, that can only mean one thing.
Be careful. This probably means...
The moment I call out to Miss President, General Teddy appears on the monitor in the entryway. It means my third round of the P1 Grand Prix is about to begin.
Is your snout okay, Sensei? Jeez, you're such a klutz.
You're still using that form? It's getting old. Why don't you just show your true self?
Boy, you got peevish. I don't have any idea what you're talking about.
I was intentionally trying to rile him up, but he wasn't falling for it. It looks like I'm not going to get him to reveal anything that way. I quickly changed tactics.
Okay, so who's my next opponent?
Ooh, now you're getting into the spirit of things. Let me guess, you're starting to enjoy beating up your friends? Okay, with the next challenger, come on down!
Here comes Chie, I'm guessing. The general doesn't pick up on my intention and loudly yells out what appears to be his pre-battle catchphrase. Smoke pours out. And who should appear from the smoke? But the person I was expecting to see. 4 of us entered the TV together. I've already fought against Yosuke and Yukiko. Then...
That's what I thought. You're the last of us, after all.
Yeah, I had a feeling you'd be next, too.
Oh, I'm gonna have to beat up Chie. I'm not happy about that. Chie laughs along with me. For the moment, there doesn't seem to be anything wrong with her words and actions, but I can't let my guard down around her. After all, I felt the same way when I encountered Yukiko too. But as they say, the third time's the charm. I have to see Chie is in the right mind. I decided the best way to do that is be calm and start a conversation with her.
Chie, you know what they're doing, right?
Before I can begin to explain, Chie cuts me off.
I know. The stuff we say gets twisted around so we end up fighting each other, right? Don't worry. You're the son of a bitch who left us as soon as the last case ended, but you're still our good friend. I mean, you have it easy. You're just fighting your friends. I had to keep killing over and over, all because of you humans!
Okay. Now this is obvious. Chie is clearly not herself. It's so blatant her words don't offend me at all. Moreover, it's not just out of character, but Chie would never say anything like that. And you humans? That's as good as confessing that you're not human. Oh, right. Carnivore, was it? Miss President is watching us from nearby. She looks more dumbfounded than worried. Still, what Chie said at the end caught my attention. I had to keep killing over and over!
Stuff about killing, huh? Miss President was talking about it earlier, too. This must be...
It hurts. It hurts. It hurts. Hurts. I'll give you a taste of the pain they put me through!
She's not even trying to sound like Chie anymore. I can't even begin to understand what she's talking about. But if a shadow is intentionally making people say these things, what does this mean about Miss President? Killing each other? All because of humans? What kind of secret past could the new student council president Yasukami High be harboring? The kind where she was an anti-shadow weapon made by the Kirijo group. And that's what she means by killing. I'm spot on. No, now's not the time for this. And Narukami wouldn't know this because he's not from the world of Persona 3. I had to look into this when we cleared up the confusion between us. I ignore her words and draw my sword. Immediately, Risei's voice rings through the arena, as if she was waiting for this.
Well, round 3 of the P1 Grand Prix already. Word on the street is that the carnivore may have a slight advantage.
And judging by I thought against Yukiko's form, I'd agree.
Will you, Senpai, all talk and no skill, manage to eke out a win this time?
Is that the game mocking me for how badly I did against Yukiko? Because I deserve it.
Let's get this show on the road. Ready?
As I say, I've no idea of the moves, I've no idea of the controls, I'm literally just winging it. And it shows in the way I fought last time. That 44 hit combo I pulled against Yosuke, I have no idea where it came from. Oh, wow. The way that battle ended then, I literally just did like a backhanded slap. I did like a backhanded slap to win. Wow, it feels a bit unbalanced in terms of fighting mechanics. It's a button masher's dream. I've won. I lower my sword and begin slowing my breathing. Yeah, me too, because it was over in seconds, but it wasn't over because of any skill. I think the only time I showed any skill then was when at one point I went from low to high attacks. That was literally it. Honestly, guys, if I was in an arcade now doing, like, you know, one of those kind of fighting game tournaments, let's say Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, Killer Instinct, Dead or Alive, I'd be the drunk uncle who turns up and gets knocked out immediately. If you're expecting anyone who turns up at EVO or tournaments like that, you're on the wrong stream. I don't believe I've injured Chie too badly. Considering this is my third time to do this, I feel like I'm getting pretty good at not having to seriously wound people in a fight.
Wipe that smug look off your face. This isn't fun at all.
General Teddy has seen that the fight's ended without any injuries and spits his words through the monitor. The image on the monitor then disappears without saying anything further. Let him say whatever he wants. I fought all the friends I came into the TV with, and none of them are hurt. All that's left is to head to the announcement room and make sure Nanako is safe, and then we'll be able to go home. I'll walk over to Chie and help her up off the ground. She's come back to her senses, and she seems a little sheepish. Oh, fucking hell. How evil can I be? I'm not gonna be. That's not Narukami, that's not canon.
I think so. Man, you're strong. I'm kind of shocked at how much of a difference there is between us.
Look who's talking. I've never been kicked around so badly in my life. I wait for Chie to reach her feet, and then tell her everything that's happened up to this point.
So the others are safe too? What a relief. I was pretty worried.
Chie is so relieved that she sits down on the floor once more. I can't help but smile at that reaction. She really does care about her friends. Yeah, these are the people I believe in. Seeing us exchanging smiles like nothing was wrong, Miss President sounds perplexed when she speaks up.
You guys really are tight, aren't you? Makes me jealous.
Well, we did spend a whole lot of time together last year because of that case. Sure, I was surprised to hear such weird stuff coming from him, but I know he'd never say any of that to me. Wait a sec. Who are you?
Chie asking the important question. Oh, I forgot about that. I quickly introduce Miss President and tell Chie that she may be a victim of this case. But Chie looks again at Miss President suspiciously.
Huh? The student council president? You mean ours? That doesn't seem right. I remember the new president being a guy.
What are you saying? I'm the student council president. Who else would I be?
I'm pretty sure, though. Maybe if you told me your name, I'd remember.
My name...
Miss President stops moving. What's going on? She can't tell us her name? That's not that strange a question, is it? But for some reason, Miss President seems unable to answer. I sense some kind of incoherent melancholy from her. Chie and I share a tense glance.
My name's...
What's wrong?
My memories. No, I don't want to fight anymore. Why do we have to kill one another?
Kill one another? I gasp when I hear those words. fall from her mouth. I don't know what's crossing her mind right now, but she's definitely not acting normally. I glance at Chie to try to approach Miss President in the hopes of calming her down. This was the music from one of the later parts of the game, one of the later dungeons. I don't want to say which one because it's a spoiler. Without warning, Miss President begins flailing her arms as if trying to fend off demons only she can see. Chie reaches out and touches her in concern. Miss President's arm catches Chie and easily knocks her aside. What power! I barely managed to catch Chie before she slams into the concrete wall. Still, this sudden breakdown. What in the world's happened to Miss President? Once I've helped Chie back to her feet, we carefully approach her from both sides. This will be a little rough, but it can't be helped. We can't ask her anything while she's still like this. But at that moment...
What? No way.
Before I know it, Miss President is flying through the air. She was jumping. For a moment, I can't comprehend what I'm seeing. This is no ordinary leap. She was at a standstill, but now her entire body is suddenly up higher than my head. Her jumping ability is unbelievable. Chie and I look up in astonishment as Miss President kicks off the ceiling to change directions and lands at a full run.
Who is that girl? Did I say something to offend her? She did mention something about her memories.
Come to think of it, her memories did seem a little muddled. Maybe she was on the verge of getting them back.
What kind of memory would make her go nuts and run away like that?
Well, she did mention killing people, Chie, so maybe she remembers some kind of bloody war. I can't answer Chie at all. What if you had to kill each other? I hear Miss President's sad voice in my head. Chie apparently wasn't expecting me to answer her, and she continues.
I'll wait here. Make sure you rescue her, okay?
Her voice is strong and confident, so to try to point home, she pokes my chest with her finger, as if ordering me. Even though she might be in danger herself, she's still worrying about others. All my friends are like that. That makes me really happy right now. I ask Chie if she'll be alright on her own. She fires back, "Let me worry about that." I nod at her and begin running after Miss President once more. I will save her, no matter what. Even though I was running as fast as I could, the invisible walls keep preventing me from making much headway. I attempted to strike at the walls of my persona, but nothing happened.
So many invisible walls, one after another. Miss President can pass through them. I don't know if I can keep up the pursuit.
The announcement room is still my destination. There's no way to know if that's where Miss President is headed as well, but if there's a shadow waiting for me there, I'll need to get there anyway. Teddy and Rise should be in the announcement room, and if Nanako is being held captive, that's where she'd be as well. I have to keep running, but yet another wall blocks the hallway. At first, I think that this is a dead end. I realize that I could cut through a classroom and come out on the other side of the wall. It's forcing me to enter the room, rather than letting me go straight. This probably means... I brace myself and put my hand on the door. Kanji, I'm rocking in. The moment I step inside, a familiar voice echoes in my mind.
Hi. Senpai! Can you hear me? Please answer me!
That voice. Is that you, Rise? The real one?
Right, if I quickly let this dialogue fill up, watch this. Look at the top left of the screen. I actually like how they've deliberately shown that this is a movie set. But you can actually see the girders with all the hanging lights over the top of the classroom. To show that it's actually like kind of like a movie TV set. I really like that. It's a neat little touch. Her voice is coming from the PA system. I'm actually hearing it in my head. This has to be the work of Rise's persona.
Thank goodness. I've been all alone since that weird fake Teddy captured me. And then you were all fighting each other.
I can hear the relief in her voice. She sounds so different from the insensitive and rude voice that had been coming from over the PA system. This is indeed the Rise I know.
Where are you now, Rise? Can you locate where I am?
I'm sorry, I don't think there's time. I'm stuck in the announcement room. Please, Senpai, you have to hurry. If you don't, he'll...
Rise! What's wrong, Rise?
There is no answer. The communication has been cut off. Has something happened in the announcement room? My heart begins racing. The enemy made us fight each other as participants in this tournament, but they had captured Rise as well. It's clear to me that they must have been worried about her using the persona's powers to tell us the truth, but that's not important right now. If she was just captured and prevented from contacting us, then the enemy must think of Rise as being less valuable than those who have to fight. She sounded okay, but who knows what might happen to her now. They have to hurry.
Pardon me for interrupting while you are lost in thought.
That's Aigis. I recognize that voice. A hand brushes my shoulder. In surprise, I jump away and draw my sword. I can't believe that I let myself get so lost in thought that I didn't notice someone until they touched me. This is the second time I've let myself get so distracted. I've gotten used to having my friends with me while I investigated last year. I can't pay attention to the entire world on my own. I need to brace myself. I look up and see another unfamiliar face. I was right. So the Persona 3 caster in the game as well. I knew as soon as I heard that voice that was Aigis. A girl with blonde hair and striking blue eyes. Wait, a girl? Her face and voice seem human-like, but the rest of her, there's metal everywhere, all over her body. For a moment, I wonder if this is just an elaborate costume, but I can see the interior framework of her body where her joints connect.
I didn't mean to startle you.
You're,
It's nice to meet you. My name is Aigis. And no, I am not human. You are the one from the introduction video, listed as the Sister Complex Kingpin of Steel, Narukami-san.
Hearing Aigis deadpan that is hilarious, but what the fuck? All of a sudden the Persona 3 caster in this game. The question catches me off guard. I wasn't expecting a complete stranger to call me that. And did she say she wasn't human? Well, when Yosuke called me by that stupid title, I knew it was a joke. But when a stranger says it, it sounds like they truly believe it. This is a pain.
Nanako is important to me, but calling it a complex is stretching things.
No, wait a second. I was trying to play it off, but I ended up blurting out Nanako's name anyway. Calm down. I need to take this conversation away from this subject. I clear my throat and try to start over. And yeah, a complete holy shit yes moment in the comments. I'm having you marking out, are you? So who else is in the game? That's the question.
Aigis-san, was it? Why are you here?
Our primary objective is the destruction of shadows, but we have come to this world on a different mission.
The destruction of shadows?
She fights shadows? But how could she do that if...
Does that mean...
Yes, I have a persona as well. Though my body is a machine, personas are the strength of the heart after all.
Just as I thought. I'm surprised to find another persona user outside of my group of friends. And a robot on top of that. I can't come to grips with all of this. From the way we were talking, she just seems like a normal person, only in an interesting suit. True. I've seen stories on the news about robots looking uncannily like real humans. But isn't something like this far beyond those? Still, I can't help but believe the evidence of my own eyes. I mean, I've been hopping in and out of TVs for the past year. Who am I to say what's strange or not? Perhaps the technology behind her creation has supernatural roots of its own. I found myself growing more and more interested in how she came to be here, but I had to put that aside for now. There's something I need to find out from her first. This P1 Grand Prix, it's so similar to the events of last year, but to think that it would involve someone like her. I don't have a clear picture of everything that's happening, that's for sure. I calm myself, then I ask her what I feel would tell me what she's doing in this world.
What is this mission of yours?
She opens her mouth to respond, but just then... the monitor inside the classroom turns on. It's at that moment that I suddenly remember. It's like we're gonna have to fight right here. I forgot about sensing that when I entered the room.
Ah! So that's where you got to, Sensei. I've been looking all over for you. Ooh, who's the honey? Were you in the middle of trying to store war with her?
I can, 'cause I'm the king.
As if you didn't know, you're the one who lured us both here.
Oh my, did you figure it out? I didn't have a choice after those guys decided on their own to horn in on the fun.
Those guys decided on their own, so they weren't summoned by Teddy's shadow then. So how the hell did they get here?
You're a bright boy, Sensei. You know what's coming next, don't you?
The general on a manner that gives me a twisted smile. Could Aigus-san's mission be something that would cause him trouble? I can't figure out what his motives are, but he's using us to crush each other. In other words, she's the next challenge that is being set against me. Aigus-san seems to understand this as well, and is staring at the monitor with a quiet animosity.
About this. Do you know the rule of this tournament?
Only the victor of each match may move on. Yes?
I have nothing against you, but I'm in a hurry for my own reasons.
Neither of us, in other words, can back down. Then there should be no hard feelings.
Aigus-san is refreshingly straightforward about this. She immediately takes a fighting stance. A bitter thought comes to me. It's tough being forced to fight my friends, but for some reason, having to hurt someone I don't even know is even tougher. Another thought comes on the heels of that one. I don't know this girl. Perhaps her appearance here means that there are urgent problems that an ordinary student like me can't fathom. What gives me the right to stop her on her mission? Shouldn't I know what's at stake before I take that from her? Thankfully, it seems that she hasn't gone mad like my other friends. Perhaps the enemy doesn't care about clouding the minds of people who don't know each other. If we're still capable of understanding each other, then we should talk this over before we do anything.
That will not do. We will speak more of this after one of us wins.
Aigus-san says this so quickly. It's as if she's reading my mind. For a moment I struck at how she could have known what I was thinking, but I realized that she's right. What good would it do for us to talk things over? True, the loser cannot leave this room. But until we have a battle, neither one of us is going anywhere. It doesn't really matter if we can come to one understanding or not. Until we have our fight, none of our goals are going to be accomplished. If that's the case, then it's better we don't hear about each other's problems before we fight. That could be why Aigus-san hasn't told me anything. This must be her version of kindness. I silently ready my sword. Aigus-san appears to smile slightly when I do. Right. I'm not going to give up on what I'm fighting for either. I need Nanako and my friends to be safe. And I have to make sure that Miss President is okay. I'll use everything I can to protect them. To thank her for her consideration, I make it a point to announce that I'm ready to start the fight.
Here goes. There's no need to hold back.
Indeed. Let us do battle.
The thing is, I saw her fight Akihiko in Persona 3 FES. So I'm expecting to get tanked here. I'm expecting to get my ass absolutely fucking kicked. But we're going to try anyway, people, because where's the fun in not trying? But I wasn't expecting Aigus to turn up. That I was not expecting. Oh wow, so she has like ranged weapons. I'm not surprised at that, but it's still annoying. Oh, now she's activated Orgia mode, for fuck's sake. And now she can fly as well. Oh, that's awesome! Listen to the music! Her music is the Heartful Cry! That's amazing! It's a version of Heartful Cry from Persona 3 FES, the answer, when we fought the Seas members. Yes! I didn't think I'd win that fight, especially when she started spamming that move where she was just shooting bullets like that and covering half the screen. Don't get me wrong, I was spamming a lot of cheap moves as well, so I think this game's one of those fighting games where to win you have to try and be as cheap as possible. And I'm so cheap that I won't even tip a canoe.
I know! That hunk of junk was no match for you!
Wow. Yes, Teddy. Why don't you fight her next time? Good luck.
Serves you right. Keep suffering. Friend against friend, beating the heck out of each other.
We're not friends. We've only just met each other. A machine with the power of persona. She was made to fight shadows, but I had no idea what she was capable of. I feel like my mind's been drained even more than my body. It angers me to see that the general is watching over us with an expression of joy, as if we were some performance for his own amusement. I look up and glare at the monitor.
I don't know why you're making us fight, but it's pointless. We aren't fighting because we hate each other. The reason we can fight is because we respect and trust each other.
A low growl. That's the only sound I hear. The real Teddy's never made such a hateful sound. It's actually rather scary.
You're such a dumbass! What's with you?
There we are. There's the yellow eyes confirming that Teddy is indeed a shadow. The image on the monitor distorts along with that outburst. This music as well. I think this was in Persona 3. The general is having trouble remembering to act as someone else, and his face bulges and ripples disturbingly as his hate pours through the screen. Any pretense of copying the adorable stupidity of the real Teddy is gone now. I notice that the voice spitting out these hateful words is not Teddy's either.
Trust? So what if you don't hate each other? You're not like me. I was forced to fight against my will. I destroyed them with my own hands. You should all have to go through the hell I suffered. See how it feels to destroy everyone you call a friend. If I knew this was gonna happen, I would have made the rules so you had to kill your opponent to move on.
The general on the monitor continues to rage.
Why did you set this tournament up?
The moment I say that, I feel that all the dots have become connected. When Miss President had asked out of the blue if we were going to force to kill each other, that ominous muttering of killing one another. Were these both something that had come directly from her past? Maybe she had been forced to fight against people she didn't want to fight. Had she been forced to destroy something that was precious to her? There's no way to know for sure, but it's possible. Considering this, it kind of explains why her shadow would have created a tournament like this. That is, she wanted us to feel what she went through. I might not be entirely correct, but I feel like I'm close to the truth. Should I just ask General Teddy about my suspicions? But as I'm considering raising my voice...
Pardon my eccentric entrance.
Someone comes crashing through the ceiling. What in the world? I rush over to Aiga-san to protect her from falling debris. When I look up, I see a young woman emerge from a cloud of dust. And look if it's not! Elizabeth has come amongst us! Well, not as strange as Aigus, she seems a little uncommon as well. But even beside that, why does she have to come through the ceiling? This room has doors! It makes no sense at all! I've been about to get to the heart of the matter with General Teddy, but the monitor in this room has been destroyed, along with the ceiling. Though she seems oblivious to my confusion, the girl cocks her head and apologizes again.
Oh, please excuse me. I didn't have the faintest idea that someone would be here.
Faintest?
Feigned? Fiend? Something along those lines at any rate.
What the hell is she talking about? Who in the world is this person? Wait a second. That blue suit she's wearing. It looks familiar. And with that silver hair and golden eyes, could it be?
Are you from the Velvet Room?
Ma, is this what's known as being hit on? A ritual where one human approaches another based solely on appearance and bets on the inner self being equally attractive.
And wouldn't you all know all about that? Hey, woman in blue. Yeah, you certainly had a wild card that you had a fondness for, didn't you?
What? No, I'm not hitting on you. You just remind me of someone I know.
Okay, so that just sounded like I really was hitting on her. No, I need to stop thinking about it like that. In any case, I need to ask her something.
Do you happen to know anyone by the name of Margaret?
Margaret.
When she repeats the name, her face seems surprisingly youthful. I've been taken aback by her bizarre speech and actions, but could this girl be younger than me? Her profile simultaneously evokes the images of a pondering philosopher of an innocent girl. I can't figure out exactly how to speak to her. Should I be more polite? I guess it doesn't matter too much. Anyway, worrying about the niceties isn't the most important thing right now.
Well, actually, we should introduce ourselves first. I'm Yu Narukami.
Ah, that had slipped my mind also. My name is Elizabeth.
Meanwhile, Snowman would jump in on saying, hey, how's it going? And is this game any good? Isn't it a fighting game? I'm playing the story mode, and believe it or not, I've had the grand total of 5 fights. It's been basically like a visual novel interrupted with fights. It's been rather interesting, complete with unexpected cameos, including one you'll be rather happy about. Although I don't think you'd be very happy about what happened a few minutes ago.
Dear me, to hear that name fraught with memories in such a mundane, remote place.
I think there is an arcade mode where it is literally just tournament fights. I'm playing the story mode and it's really padding it out. If you've played the Dancing All Night game, the Persona 4 Dancing All Night, it's similar to that story mode, where it goes on for ages, then you get the action stage. She thinks that this world is a mundane place. That's confusing. Yes, so Inaba may be out in the countryside, but I don't think it's as bad as people say it is. The girl, Elizabeth, suddenly bows elegantly to me.
Margaret is indeed my sister's name. Can I take that to mean that you are another guest of that room?
I see. So she's Margaret's sister. That would explain why she reminds me of her.
Elizabeth-san, huh? Well, I guess that's the case. It's true that there was a time when I visited that room.
Igor, Margaret, and now Elizabeth. It seems there are more people who call that place home than I thought. I think I'm glad I met Margaret last year instead of this girl.
Why is a resident of the Velvet Room here? Did Margaret send you with a message or something?
I am currently utterly neglecting my duties.
Is that so?
That doesn't really tell me much, and I have no response anyway. So what possessed her to come blasting through the ceiling instead of using the door? I decided not to bother asking her that. I've met so many different people over the last year, but trying to have a conversation with this girl is like trying to ride a wild horse. She's just going to ignore the direction I'm trying to steer us towards and just veer off wherever she wants. Best to just hold on and go along for the ride then. Maybe if I pay attention, she'll tell me something worth my time. Even if I try to ask her any questions, she'll likely just be confused anyway. Just as I'm having the thought, the girl seems to notice my hesitation and starts to talk about herself. Her eyes are lit up with a sincere passion. She really is a hard one to read.
I have a certain desire. It may take a very long time for it to be realized. In order for my wish to be granted, I require a power much greater than what I have. The power of the wild card that changes bonds into strength. I have a feeling that the key lies there.
I know a little about the wild card, but...
I feel that the first glue to granting my wish lies within that power.
The first glue. Not the first clue, the first glue.
Glue?
Yeah, Narukami and me think alike. Well, like, what are you on about?
Glue? Influenza. Something along those lines at any rate.
She's having trouble coming up with the right words, but I can hear the sincerity in her speech. Probably. In other words, I think she means that the power of the wild card is related to her desire and came here. I don't think it's worth asking how she knew if I had that power, or where she found out about it. Just as I'm struggling to follow the meandering path of her conversation, she brings up an outrageous suggestion.
Might I suggest that you and I fight?
No! I fought the Velvet Room attendants! Even with overpowered personas, I struggled! Fighting a Velvet Room attendant with just Izanagi is not gonna happen! What? Someone please tell me how she reached the conclusion that this was a good idea. I don't think I have a chance of talking her out of it, though. But of course, I have to try. So I say...
Oh, how excited this is making me. My expectations are ascending skyward at Mach speed. To be direct, I'd like for you to show me the potential slumbering within you.
Let me make sure of something, just in case. You understand what I'm saying, right? There's no illusions at work?
Such parlor tricks can get stuffed.
I love Elizabeth. I love how direct she is.
I see. So you're actually in your right mind here. That's kind of, impressive.
I say that the HD models, that's how they look. It's kind of cool to see, actually. Well, maybe she understood what I meant when I mentioned the illusions. If that's so, then she at least must have some idea of what's going on around here. And even though she might understand it, she still wants to fight me. I wonder, though, if she's unrelated to General Daddy's plans and invited herself into the tournament, do the usual rules apply? As I think about this, Elizabeth-san taps her foot on the ground and takes a fighting posture. She really does want to fight. The huge, leather-bound book in her hand opens as if by itself. A torrent of power courses over her open book with a blue light. I can't believe that this strange girl has such unimaginable power. She seems so aloof. No, it may be more correct to call an air of imminent violence.
Right. I won't be able to hold back.
To be honest, I was really only saying that in the hopes of bluffing her. I have absolutely no room to hold back in this fight. I hurriedly cast off my fear and focus on the upcoming battle. There's no room for doubt. I need to hit her with my full strength from the start. Even if I were to fight her with the intent of killing her, I'd be lucky not to end up dead myself. At least, that's how I feel. Elizabeth-san calmly begins the battle.
Let's do this. Your fate is in the cards.
This is really not going to end well. All throughout the stream I've said before fights I'm going to get my ass kicked. This time I'm not joking. I'm not only going to fight her all with attendant. I have to do it with just Izanagi. No fucking chance. Unless they give her the nerve to end all nerves, this is going to end horrendously quickly. And she's using... She's using Thanatos. That's interesting. I'm loving the fact that we've got the Velvet Room music for Nyx as the battle theme. Come on. Oh, she broke my persona break. Come on.
I'm surprised.
What the fuck? Yes, I'm placing a bookmark. How the fuck did I just beat a Velvet Room attendant with just Izanagi? What the fuck? How? Why? Just when I thought I managed to throw her off balance, Elizabeth-san gets back up elegantly, as if nothing had just happened. Snowbaber, I've not heard any rumours regarding Persona 6. I've not heard anything. In fact, the only thing I've heard recently relating to like Persona with the 25th anniversary is that you can buy Persona-themed mouthwash. Who wants that shit? Two things we want, a Persona 3 remaster remake and Persona 6. That's what we want. Suddenly, I feel an intensity build up in the air. Don't tell me she hadn't been taking this seriously at all up until now. It's the only thing that makes sense, Narukami, because I shouldn't have won that fight. I do love that image though. That's a brilliant piece of artwork. In the next moment, I'm swallowed into a torrent of power like a leaf being blown into the air, without the slightest understanding of what's happening. My vision blurs as I'm spun about, and before I can tell up from down, the floor jumps towards me and I'm slammed into the ground. Am I going to lose? As my consciousness fades, I see the faces of my friends in Aigus-san, all those I've fought against up until now. It's like that story you see your life flash before your eyes just before you die. Am I dying? Can I really accept that? I'll fight as much as I have to, in order to save my friends. I have to keep fighting. I've come so far. I can't lose heart now. I desperately force my legs to move and manage to stand up again. Elizabeth-san shuts her book with an air of finality.
I see. I am quite content with this outcome. It seems you possess true strength.
The unyielding tyrant of power suddenly ceases without warning. Is it over? No, I wanted to have Izanagi no Akami! I wanted the persona to ascend! Even as I kind of understand that, I continue to stand stock still, unable to move.
I believed you were at the limits of your stamina after the battle against Aegis earlier. In actuality, your heart almost gave in during your struggle with me. But each time you faltered, the many hearts supporting you gave you strength, helping you to rise again.
She cuts herself off and nods to herself, as if to confirm some suspicion.
This was truly an intriguing battle. I believe our encounter has borne much flute.
Flute?
Flue? Chimneys. In any case, I am quite pleased.
Even after a battle, she acts like that. I feel like a fool for believing that she really would have killed me, even if I felt quite real at the time. I can't believe any of this. My legs give out under me, and I sink to the ground. And yes, Snowbaver, I had to beat up Aegis. Please don't hate me. Maybe she understands how I feel. Elizabeth-san looks straight into my eyes.
Can I ask you something? To continue fighting in order to prevent an undesirable future, it is a path of endless hardship. Would you still choose to walk it?
Margaret had said something similar just before this tournament had begun. How I had overcome the ordeal concerning last year's case and opened the door. Margaret's and Elizabeth-san's words come together in my mind.
Yeah. Working for a better tomorrow isn't just a one-time thing. The tomorrows keep coming.
Opening the door is necessary, but it's not what's truly important. What's more important is making sure that you follow the path that's beyond the door. Only once you have that path in mind does it matter whether you've opened the door or not. That's how I feel.
We would keep fighting for the future we want.
Elizabeth smiles at my answer. It seems the former dweller at the Velvet Room is pleased with my answer. She must have chosen a path of her own at some point and is doing everything in her power to see it through. Maybe I'm jumping to conclusions, but I feel as if I'm able to understand her a little better now.
It's time for me to bid you adieu. By your leave, I, Elizabeth, am out of here.
With this, Elizabeth briskly walks out of the room. She caused me some trouble, but I've also learned something about myself as well. I think I'll call it a draw. Alright, we'll call it a draw. No arms, no legs. As I wave goodbye to Elizabeth, I hear Aegis-san getting back to her feet behind me.
Are you alright? You shouldn't force yourself to move.
I was concerned at first, but Aegis-san doesn't seem to be very hurt, or damaged, or whatever you would say. She was likely just knocked out. I had absolutely no chance of winning if I'd gone easy on her. This is getting ridiculous.
You are very kind. We've only just met, and yet you're worried about a machine like myself.
Huh? Isn't that normal?
Aegis-san laughs at my confusion.
Seeing you smile like that? I don't know. I just can't think of you as a machine. You have a heart, right? Then it doesn't matter whether you're man or machine.
Aegis-san stops laughing and thinks deeply for a moment. But after a few seconds, she looks back up at me with a serious look in her eyes.
You have defeated me in single combat. That will make it difficult for me to continue forward.
Well, she's not wrong, those are the rules.
But I believe I can trust you. Will you listen to my mission directive?
I have no reason to say no. I look Aegis-san square in the eye and nod reassuringly. And so, Aegis-san told me about her directive, and it was truly surprising. There was another case involving personas and shadows outside of Inaba, even before our adventure last year. And she is a weapon with a heart, created with the express purpose of wielding a persona to fight the shadows. She believes that this current situation came to be because someone had stolen a similar weapon and caused it to enter the TV world.
So, there's another girl robot with a heart like you, and she's the cause of all this?
My theory is true. I bow to you all. The Miss President I said earlier on, she reminded me too much of Metis. That is an anti-shadow weapon. I don't know her name, but that was my theory, and it appears that I was right. Again!
We came to this world to retrieve her. My older sister, the 5th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon, Labris, is in this world somewhere.
Labris, so that's what she's called. Aegis, Labris, Metis. It makes sense, they all have the is at the end of their names. Nanako, Miss President, her shadow, and now Labris. I have a mountain of tasks to accomplish now. But even though I have a lot to do, I can't ignore any of it.
Tell me more about Labris, and I'll do what I can to help you get her back.
Unfortunately.
Aegis-san's expression clouds. She said that she was a machine, but that she really is no different from a human. As I'm listening to her, I think about what this means in my search for Labris. It's not helpful.
So you don't know what she looks like, what she can do, or what equipment she's loaded with?
Basically, all she can tell me is that Labris is a robot who's built to look like a girl. Wait a second. I did meet a girl I didn't know in the TV world. Miss President! Could Miss President be Labris?
Is there a possibility that she looks, well, more human than you? You mentioned earlier that she was your older sister, so I assume she was built before you, but...
My sister was an older model, a prototype for the 5th generation to be exact. It's doubtful that she would look more human than myself.
Then, there's no way Miss President could be Labris. I could tell at first glance that Aegis-san was a machine. Miss President appears to be completely human. I never once considered that she might not be human until just now. But that just makes things even more complicated. What in the world is going on inside this TV?
Alright, in any case, I'll keep an eye out for her. But right now, I'm heading to the announcement room. If Labris is the cause of this, then I'm bound to meet up with her eventually.
I shrug slightly. I don't want to be so grave. Aegis-san must be sense what I'm trying to do and smiles.
Thank you. I will trust my sister's fate to you.
Of course. I give Aegis-san a determined nod and run out of the classroom. But man, what a busy Golden Week. I have to make sure Nanako's okay, find Miss President, unmask whoever's masquerading as Teddy, and now search for Labris somewhere in here. If this wasn't happening, I'd be kicking to my friends at the Junes food court. Yukiko seemed to be trying to be coy, but I'm pretty sure the big bundle she was carrying was probably boxed lunches that she made. As to how they may taste, well, let's not get sidetracked. I'm sure we'd all have enjoyed them anyway. Eventually, I would have called Nanako over, and we would have bought some snacks together. There were things I wanted to buy from the Shiroku store, and maybe I could have made it to Sozai Daigaku in time to buy the last of their special croquets. I want to talk with the owner of Daidara and get some books from the Yamanaito boot store. I'd have had a steak bowl at Aya, hung out with the fox at the Tatsumi shrine, waiting for my uncle till we could have dinner, and tomorrow I'd have gone fishing. If the one who ruined my vacation and caused all these problems is the same person who stole Labris, and if they truly brought Nanako back into the CV world...
They're not getting away from me.
So all those things I mentioned then is basically a TLDR version of what you can do in Persona 4 on your days off. As I run on, I come across yet another blue door. Perhaps it's a sign that I need to calm down. True. I may have lost my cool for a moment.
Someone here? Again?
I reach towards the door with a relaxed smile. Margaret is in her usual position. I glance around to see if there's anyone else in here. It looks like her nutcase of a sister isn't here. Margaret notices me looking and sighs, a seductive sound that also conveys annoyance.
It seems my sister has caused you some trouble. Though this may mean that I'm not the only one who is drawn to the light of your potential.
There's a hint of tenderness towards her sister in her words. Her sister must be important to her. I can't tell from the look in her face. Do I look like that when I talk about Nanako? Margaret pulls herself together and speaks again.
You have gained new resolve by overcoming many doubts and falsehoods.
A new resolve. I find myself nodding along.
You have reached the threshold of truth. But man's hearts are mutable. That is why a resolve to continue fighting is more important than any one victory or defeat.
Yeah, I understand.
But this will be a difficult battle without end. Are you equal to the challenge?
The way she puts it makes it seem as if she was testing me. I don't respond immediately and think about the question. It would be lying to say that I'm not worried. I know that my heart can be swayed by change. There's no knowing what will happen from moment to moment. But even then...
If I have my friends, if I'm not alone, I can do it.
I see.
Margaret nods slightly in response.
I have heard your answer, but it's not enough. Remember what I told you before? The heart is shaken more by a single action than by 1,000 words.
As she smiles, my vision begins to blur. I hear words being repeated. I have reached the threshold of truth. Everything that's happened during the course of this case runs through my mind. The new appearance of the TV world, this tournament pitting us against each other, the student council president, and a fake Teddy. My encounter of a weapon with a heart, I get sent searching for his sister, Labris, and the determination that I've gained through these constant battles. What I must accomplish. Now, Snow, I don't know, but that would be amazing if you can fight as Igor. Oh my god, that'd be fantastic. I don't know if you can, but that would be amazing. How do I show what I've decided through my actions? And well, it's a chance to place a bookmark. I wasn't expecting that, but that's actually come at a very good time. Because tomorrow, I am in the office, so unfortunately, I have to be up very early. And we're not far off, 3 hours actually, so that's actually a perfect threshold point. So what have we learned tonight? We've learned that the Midnight Channel is back on the air. We've learned that someone is masquerading as Teddy. And somehow, the Persona 3 cast have invaded the universe of Inaba. And that Izanagi is somehow equal to Thanatos. Your guess is as good as mine, people. Are we going to pick this up in 2 nights' time on the Friday? Yes, we are, because I'm having an absolute ton of fun. And if we finish this particular route, we will do one of the other characters as well. So we're going to be back in 2 evenings' time, same place, 8 PM BST. Until then, thank you all very, very much for watching. And good night.